guys went to this inn, and for whatever reason, it was there. It's called the Blue Lobster. And you go into the main area, the main commons, and you see that it's quite full. And immediately you notice to your left, there's a large fireplace inside it, and there's a huge mantle over top of it. And surprisingly, like kind of catches your eye. There's a bit of a seafaring motif to the city, despite its landlocked nature. But it has, you realize that whoever kind of ran it at one point was perhaps a sailor or something, retired or whatever. And so there's anchors and stuff around and ropes and that sort of look. And the crowd seems to be fairly middle class, lower class people. And the places, and there's music floating around and the smells and the sounds and laughters and of a typical inn. You do notice a huge fishbowl that stands out. It sits on the mantle of the fireplace, and it's a big bowl. It's probably about 20 gallons, 25-gallon bowl, clear glass, and it's got a few like garnishes in it of seaweed or something, but you do see the flash of a beautiful fish inside this bowl. It's probably about, well, larger than your hand, your open hand, and kind of flat fish, kind of like an angel fish, real iridescent colors flash across it and whatnot. But before, you guys are hungry, and so you sit down and you order food, and we're going to just basically start with this. A girl comes up. She's probably about, you estimate, maybe 17 or so. She's the barmaid. She comes up. She goes, "Hi, I'm Mola. Hi. What do you guys need? Are you near in a town? I see. A travel worn?" And it's about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, by the way. So the dusk has just kicked in. It's late in the fall, so it's already pretty dark, actually.
Yeah.
You see there's a busy bartender, of course, back doing his thing. There's a couple other barmaids hustling around.
Before I order food and drink, I'm going to go up to this huge fish bowl, say a little prayer to my deity, and I'm actually going to drop a gold piece in there, kind of like a symbol for luck. But after I sit down, when the barmaid comes around, I'll be needing 2 flagons of your best.
One moment, could you make a wisdom check, please? When you actually did your little ceremony and plunked the gold piece in?
Yeah. I rolled it on the die.
Just got it?
I just got it.
Okay, and you were turning away. The gold piece flitters down through the water in its beautiful manner, and a few people you see a couple of locals kind of look up and a couple clap, and you see there's a few other coins at the bottom, mostly copper, maybe a couple electrum, and even a silver or two, but you didn't see any gold, and that flashes down and flickers, and you're just about to turn away, and the fish, you could swear, it swam toward the glass at your end and kind of looks at you and catches your eye.
I'll actually give a nod to the fish.
And his mouth opens and this bubble comes up and pops up through the air, and you might have heard, and then the fish kind of swam away, but you might have heard as the bubble bursts, you hear this Nbod. And you could have, what? Did I hear that? And then the music comes back, but you were stuck in a moment for a second, and you're just like, oh. And then the fish kind of looks at you, and then it flutters away, and you're like, what? Nbod? What? Did it say Nbod? And then you walk back to the table with the goosebumps on your arms, and you notice a few people clapped and stuff, and were like, yeah, and a couple reached down and give you a high five, you're a dwarf and stuff, and they all seem to appreciate the fish, and a couple come up and put some coins in after that, and the fish gets excited and swims around, and there's a few people clap, yeah, and it seems to be like the inn's mascot. Everybody seems to like the fish, and you head back and sit down. Now you guys are quite tired. You had plans to get a room here. You have a bit of money. Yeah, you got some. We could roll to actually see. We could give you basically what would be the starting money you get as your class. That's what you would have left, if you follow. So in the player's handbook, there's a chart. It's by the equipment.
Cleric is 30 to 180, I believe. Yes, 3 dice, 6 and 10.
That's pretty
And
good.
mine's,
Yeah, so
yeah.
that's pretty good amount of gold you'd have left.
All right. Well, let me roll for
And
mine where you can see it here.
and then the fighter is
5
third
die
level.
4. Yeah, 5 die
It's
4 times 2.
5d4. Yeah, 5d4 times 10.
Ah, so you guys got some money probably, unless you really tank the rolls. This is a pretty
Even
rich
then,
city.
okay.
It's not cheap city. Prices you noticed are a bit inflated. Um, there's troubling times as well. You've heard lots of rumors. You guys come from an area. Now realize you in particular, Arthur, your region you come from was basically at one point had been a pristine civilization under the vassalage of the empire, and then when it collapsed, it was one of the regions that went and fell under the sway of dark forces.
Right. So I rolled 13, so I got 130 gold.
Okay, so yeah,
Well,
you guys
maybe-
got some cash, you got some money, you guys can afford to do what you want, I guess, at this point. Yeah, so you can order some really fine. So you went back and ordered a couple really fine ales, right? You said?
Yep, and a good
2
hot
flagons of
meal.
your best.
Okay, do you have that equipment list open? You can look up some prices for some stuff, and it's inflated by about 40%.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's
Is it because we're out here in the sticks?
no, this is a big city.
Oh. Yeah.
There's stuff that'll be good if it's inflated by 40%.
Oh, that
Yeah, it's
doesn't
pretty.
mean
It's a
anything, man.
nice
It just
inn
means
too.
like it means it has to be ported from a distance. That's all.
Yeah.
Right back.
Yes and no. Let's see.
So I don't know if you want to share your experience or whatnot, but you come back to the table with that in your head a bit, and you're like, Nbod. You've never heard that word or name. It's like,
Well,
So yeah, a pint of ale is a silver piece. So a two would round up to 3 at a 40% increase.
yeah. So for a couple, it'd be 3 silver pieces. You're just like, what? When she comes back with the ales,
well, I did order the best.
Yeah.
that too. Yeah, that's why I kind of pumped it up too a bit. He ordered the some really good ale. So
And I'm
and she
also
comes
gonna
back
want
with
to
this dark stout ale and these clear glasses, which is rare. Usually they're in tankards and stuff, but they actually serve in nice glasses, goblets, and you're like, oh. And she comes back. Mala comes back, and she seems a shy girl in some ways for a barmaid, and brings her drinks. So what else are you gentlemen here for? And we don't get many dwarves these days down here.
I
Where are you
understand
from?
it. Originally, I'm not sure. I'm thinking that I might be calling this place home for a while. But I'll tell you something else that I would appreciate. What kind of meats do you have?
Rooms?
Meats. I'll be asking about that later.
Sorry, I'm getting feedback. I think it's I'm having a hard time hearing you. Say again.
I was asking her about what kind of meats they have. What kind
Oh,
of
I
meats-
see. Yeah, the place has actually an impressive menu. And she starts talking. Well, we have a special right now is like a sort of shepherd's pie with some excellent oxen, and we also have some sausages and bacon is always on the pan. And the special looks like it could be some ribeye steaks.
Do you have any lamb?
Ooh, no lamb.
That's okay. I'll take a couple of the specials.
I'll take a
Nice.
shepherd's pie.
Excellent. Do you, gentlemen, are you able to be? You said you were staying a while. Do you need to place accommodation?
I
we
believe
could-
so.
cer-
Yes.
Yeah, certainly use a room.
Well, the place is pretty busy, but there is a couple rooms left, and one is a particularly luxurious suite. If you're interested in that and need a good rest, I'm afraid it only has one rather large bed, enough for 2 gentlemen for sure.
I don't know if we need the specialty suite, but
I'll take the suite.
Oh, but the thing is, special deal. The master is lending it out for half price lately.
Right.
Oh, and her face kind of frowns for just a fraction of a second. And she kind of goes, I'll get your meals. I'll be right back. And she bounces away.
Thank you, lass.
I don't think we take the suite.
Something seems fishy about that.
What did they say about the suite?
When you asked why, she clammed up and got all nervous and walked away. So I'm voting not the suite.
No, I didn't clam up. I mean, I was.
No, not you. She did.
She did.
The barmaid.
I didn't show any negative signs about a price. I want the suite.
Yeah, and she said, no, okay. And she said, oh, cool. And then you asked why it was half price.
And then
don't get me wrong. It was just like a fraction of a second. She said, "Oh, I'll get your meals."
No,
she blanched or anything.
I misheard something through the cackling that is the background of Hangouts, so that's cool.
No, nothing serious happened. You did notice that she was just she just didn't answer you. She turned around and went off to get your meals. I'll be right back with your meals, and she panders off. And like I said, the place seems pretty bustly busy. You guys do have some gear you could go put in the room, and she'll be back probably in about 5-10 minutes with your food. They keep stuff on spits and stuff here, and they just keep going, right? And so it won't take long. She'll be back in 5 or 10 minutes. So you guys can sit down and take in the scene for a minute. The fish is doing its normal thing, swimming around, looks normal again, or as it always did. A lot of people around. There's a couple halflings that are kind of carrying a big part of the party down by near the fishbowl, and no other dwarves in the building at the moment. They're probably you've seen some in the city though. The city's very, like I said, multi-racial area, mostly human though.
Right. That's fine. I didn't expect to see too many dwarves around here.
No, and there happens not be any in the building that you see. And you guys are enjoying this rather fine, dark, stout ale. It is good. It's like,
Darren, I don't know if it's just me, but I think Google has chosen you to robot.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to call on me on that because that'll happen. Now watch this. I'll fix it.
Better you than me, man. When I started a Hangout earlier, did the same goddamn thing.
Google just picks people at random and decides that you're the one who's not going to get good audio today.
Right.
Yeah.
Now fixed it, right?
Yep.
Much better. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
What did you do to fix it, by the way? Because I couldn't do mine by
F5.
What's F5?
Refreshes the page.
Refresh, I should say. Make sure it's highlighted so you don't refresh your other pages. Okay, so yeah, you guys just relax for a minute. You're you're a bit tired, not totally wiped out, but you've traveled all day. You wanted to reach the city. You've heard about this wonderful city. And now you realize that the entertainment's out. By the way, now you see there's some acting, some plays going on. Now the music's kind of taken on the role of the background and stuff, and it's pretty entertaining. You're like, wow, it's impressive. They're putting on a bit of a show at one end. It's pretty big in.
Well, if I'm really digging the entertainment and I'm still waiting on my food, I'll go up there and place a couple of gold and nod at them to keep going. You know?
Oh, yeah, and the gusto picks up a level, and again, a few locals are like, yeah, and they probably don't see too many dwarves through here, and a generous one is probably rare, so they're giving you a clap, and you head back, and you see Mola coming from the kitchen area with a large platter, steaming, bringing it over to your table, and she comes up and puts it down, and she's back, she's smiling and everything, and here you go, and your room's ready. It will cost though 9 gold pieces a night.
Not a problem. I'll go ahead and pay for the night.
Oh, thank you so much. And she scoots the gold into her apron pouch there.
Yeah. By the way, I gave the actors and whatnot 3 gold.
Oh yeah, and so they really keep up. They kind of turn a bit toward your table a bit and face you and direct their play in your direction, and things are going. And you guys feel the best you've felt in months. you feel that you can put your feet up. You don't have to look over your shoulder anymore, worry about, whatever happening. You've had to fight off a few situations in the night and whatnot, and wolves and who knows, undead perhaps in your travels. So
still, as much as I'm enjoying everything and being a little bit free with my money, I'm still keeping an eye on Arthur's back, just because we've kind of fallen into that habit,
right.
So.
And not getting too carried away. And so you're eating your meal, and she brought a key that she gives you. You've prepaid and everything, so she's like, okay, here's your key, and it's this big heavy key, and she goes, it's upstairs, third door on the right.
Thank you very much.
Anytime you're ready. Do you wish to have a bath run?
Please.
That would be lovely.
I'll tip her a couple of silver.
I'll give her a couple silvers for running a bath, because ship muck needs to come off.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. That stuff builds character.
Now you guys can decide what you want to do. It's the things have livened you up a bit. You're not as tired as you thought once you're eating your food and you've had a couple ales, and you guys are talking and you're smiling and kind of joking a bit. And a couple locals have kind of cheered you guys and talked with you, about the weather or whatever, some small talk, and then everyone seems pretty happy and friendly in this area. And you do. This one guy comes up, and he's a short guy with kind of a little rat face, but he seems quite happy and jovial, though. And he's, so you like Esmeralda, do you? Gave her a gold piece. Wow. Where are you guys from?
I'm from all over. I've been serving on merchant ships for quite some time.
Sailor? Well, you're foreign land for a sailor. Well, you come to the right place. The Blue Lobster. Sailors come here all the time.
I go where the weather takes me.
Ah, nice.
The map is correct. I am from the other side of the sea.
Both men of the sea. Well, like I said, you're in the right place. This is the old Blue Lobster. I've been coming here myself for, must be about 22 years now. Yeah.
Good place for your patronage, I take it.
Oh, yeah. I always come here, especially on Thursday nights when they got the bands playing and then the playwrights. Best of times. Love it.
Well, this crew seems to be doing a good job. I'm enjoying that quite a bit.
The Jolly Rogers, you bet.
I know them.
Wait, you in character?
Me?
Yeah, he's not here.
I'm not sure if I'm there yet, man.
No, sorry, Vama. But no, this is an NPC, as far as you know. It's just a guy. Appears to be a local. He appears to be quite genuine. He's kind of chummed up to you guys because you guys have shown that you're generous and open, and you're talking, and you tipped the fish. You mentioned.
That's an old little thing that we do for Procon. Not a lot of people do that, but he suits me fine.
Well, Esmeralda appreciates it, I'm sure. She's been a fixture here at the old Lobster for, well, must be on about 6 years now, I think.
Oh, quite lovely.
Oh, one other thing you did notice when you flipped the gold coin in there, you have a feeling that it was salt water. Not that would make a difference, but
I could probably smell that.
Yeah, it was a bit odd because you're like, ooh, I smell the sea. And
which is like one of my favorite smells in the world, so.
And you guys are probably 500 miles inland, at least. Yeah. So, but anyway, it's possible, whatever, but it's wow, and a beautiful fish, by the way, and whatnot. So you guys are enjoying the evening. Now you can, this gentleman, he introduces himself as William, and he appears to be a local that comes here and gets the entertainments, the Blue Lobster, and he's got a few of his buddies are with him, you can see, and their wives and whatnot, and they're having a good time. You guys are at a bit of a commons table, a long commons table. That's sort of one end of it. And it's about 9:30 now, getting close to 10. and you guys still have all your gear with you and stuff, and you're still dirty. I mean, you can go wash and then come back, or you can go put your gear away, or you can, at this point, or you can go out into the city if you really want. But
Yeah, I'm gonna go wash and stow my gear, and then come back.
Same.
so you guys finish your meal quickly, and it was delicious, and wrap up your drinks, and
Quickly. I savor it.
yeah, true. But you guys are hungry, and you haven't had a good home cooked meal like this for a while. It's really hearty.
I ordered 2 specials, so it's going to take me a little while.
Nice. Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
good.
while he eats his 2 steaks.
It almost fills you up. So while you can go upstairs and start the first bath or whatever, while he's finishing up, because you get done a bit sooner. So Arthur, you go upstairs first, and you get to up the staircase and this hallway, and the third door on the right, and there you see it.
By the way, I claimed the bed.
You don't get the whole bed, buddy.
Thank you.
Mala comes with you because you can see she's carrying a big kettle of water, and she kind of intercepts you on the way up, and she goes, master, I see you're going to your room here. And you go up to the door and open it with your key and open it up and go inside, and this room is well furnished with solid furniture that has been bolted to the wooden floor. A large bed dominates the room with its massive headboard and ornately carved posts. Its thick blankets have been turned back to reveal green silken sheets. Beside the bed, a small table holds an unlit taper in a bronze candle holder. At the foot of the bed sits a massive sea chest of teak wood bound in iron, with an iron lock worked in the likeness of a screaming face. A wardrobe of dark, almost black wood stands against the dark north wall. Beside the door and against the west wall, a ceramic wash bowl filled with cool water sits on a small table. Against the south wall, a large desk with many drawers and cabinets awaits exploration. Over the desk hangs a painting of a man with a thick black beard and piercing green eyes. He stands at the bow of a ship in the midst of a storm, brandishing a strange, wavy-bladed dagger. Lurking in the foam of the storm-tossed sea, a gigantic creature rises up, its tentacles curled to strike. In the southeast corner of the room, a large copper tub filled with steaming water invites a relaxing bath. An assortment of fragrant soaps and oils on display on a low table beside the tub. A shaving mirror hangs on the south wall, and beside it a straight razor with an ivory handle dangles by its cord from a nail. So it's a very nice room, like she says. And she comes in and starts adjusting things and fluffing the pillow. And
when I get up there, I look at Arthur and I look at the bed and I'm like,
it's
that
huge.
Bed might be a little bit too much for me. So have at it.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna get cleaned up and then stow the gear and then check all the drawers and stuff, and then settle down for the evening.
Yeah, so I've noted the main elements of the room. There's a wardrobe, a tub, a desk, a picture, a huge bed with ornate posts, curled posts, shaving kit, and so on, basin. Very ornate, very oriented towards seamanship. Like everything has that sort of cast. The painting's quite striking. It's the guy on the prow of this ship tackling the waves, and this creature coming from back with tentacles trying to grab him.
Okay. So look around the room and then take my bath, get the travel scum off me.
Yep. So while you guys do this, we are now going to move to our other characters.
No problem.
Yeah. So while
Hey,
you guys
Brian.
are doing that,
Welcome in.
there's Brian. Hey, Brian. Feeling better?
Mostly.
That's good to
All right.
hear.
We got travel gear on though. I can see. Hold on. There we go.
Right. Okay. I'm just going to do like a short bio.
Dude, we're starting to look alike.
I'll be right back. Short bio, guys, and then we'll start your segment, and then we're going to be obviously merging soon.
If I grow a longer beard and you grow longer hair, we'll be even. Huh?
I'm working on the longer hair, man.
Now you're getting there. You almost have bangs.
I'm getting there.
I've got the beard. I've got the beard to fit my character.
You get the beard, you got the hair, I got the gray. There you go.
We're not going to think so about our eye color, though. I got this blue thing going on. What are yours, brown?
I've got plenty of gray on my own, so
I've got
Yeah,
the
you got the nice streaks, man. That's a good. You got to cultivate that shit. No,
Yeah,
my eyes
well-
are like they're what they call hazel. You know what I mean? Like sometimes they're green, sometimes they're brown. Depends on the lighting.
You really tell with the screen you're really blurry as you move. Yeah, you're like bobbing and weaving like it's a boxing match.
I'm scared. This is Vema's last leg. Okay, so guess what, Toki? We're back in. We are back into where we met. Is this fucking
wait a
in
minute.
Blue Lobster?
How did we get from where we were to where we are?
12 days travel on foot.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm as green as you are here, but this he says 12 days travel.
Okay, so
Why back here? Fucking
Toki feels a little apprehensive because his tribe has left him for dead.
yeah, but you're a different man now.
Yeah, but can I earn? Is there a way for me to earn my place back into my society?
We're gonna go find out, aren't we? I'm going to assume that we've established enough rapport in the sense of like linguistically that we can have these types of conversations pretty clearly at this point, right? I mean, Vama's primary occupation was a translator and a diplomat before whatever happened. Anyhow, so yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out. You know, but do you want to give it a go? We'll give it a go.
Yeah, let's press on.
Besides, now that you understand what the world of like rogue adventure is like, I have a feeling that we might be able to pick up where we left off.
Streets still confuse me a little bit. There seem to be rules about low fences, dividing things, and that process where you have to pay for stuff and how some
Don't worry about that. Just remember, keep your weapon in your imagination tied down. So always think about untying it before you use it. Just pretend with me. As long as you think about that, that'll give you enough time to not make a mistake. Okay?
All right, I'll follow your lead on who we killed.
Right. Just remember that one principle. Pretend your weapon is tied, and then so mentally untie it each time.
Okay, hold on. I forgot to mention a couple things. I didn't.
And let me do the talking if it comes down to that.
No, I meant. Was there anything you guys wanted to do while you were in the room, getting ready, getting your fresh clothes out? Mala comes there to pick up your dirty clothes, and they'll do laundry part of the service. It's quite a high end.
Since I'm a little paranoid about the room being so cheap, I'm going to check everything.
Oh, Mala gives a really good foot rub, as I recall.
You're both males, right? I'm assuming.
Yes.
Aye.
Okay. So you want to check everything out? In what sense?
I'm just gonna go through all the drawers, check behind the portrait, make sure there's not anything strange here. Call me crazy, but I've gotten a little paranoid from recent circumstances. So
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that everything is as it appears to be.
Yeah. And my character's probably used to him doing that. So
All right. So,
by the time I get up there, I probably start helping him.
well, you're in the bath while he's doing this.
Yeah.
So there's the bed, the wardrobe, the desk, painting, bed. There's 5 things that stand out. The shaving kit and wash basin is, you can't hide anything. It just seems very what it is. She just left after dumping the rest of the hot water in the tub, and just, do you guys need anything else, sort of thing? And you said you tipped her.
Yep.
How much do you tip her?
I tipped her 3 silver.
Oh,
I tipped her a couple too. So
that perks her up big time. Yeah, she's like, "Oh, thanks. Are you sure? Is there anything else you guys need? Just ask, and I'll get it for you."
I would greatly appreciate another flagon.
Oh, I'll bring it right up.
And I am
You
happy
too,
with the
sir?
fact that there's. I'm just happy with the fact that there's been a bath and that my clothes are going to get washed. So that makes me happy enough.
All right. So she takes your clothes as well, if you want, and they'll have them cleaned and ready in the morning.
Yep, that works. That way,
It's,
and of course I got spares, but the travel clothes need to be washed.
Yeah. So she bundles off, heads off, happy as can be, the silver jingling away. And you guys are back in the room. And like I said, a few things stood out, and it seems to make sense considering the motif of the place. All the furniture, everything's bolted down, like on a ship, right?
Right.
And so go ahead. Which items do you want to actually investigate? You don't have too long. He's having a bath real quick, and you probably have 15 minutes or whatever, 20 minutes.
First step: the dresser with all the drawers.
The wardrobe or the
Uh,
desk?
the desk with all the drawers.
Desk. Okay, roll a 20-sided as you just spend a couple minutes going through. It's got a lot of nautical charts. There's like old notebooks and such. Um, doesn't now you have some? Do you have any nautical background? Or
I
the
don't.
dwarf is more than you, right? You're more,
The
yeah.
dwarf is more than me, but I got a 16. So
The dwarf, you realize the dwarf could probably make sense of some of this stuff. Appears to be like logs and charts and you know numbers and such.
okay,
What'd you roll in your 20-sided?
16.
Okay. And nothing else. It just seems to be full of that stuff and quill and ink and stuff.
Okay, and then I'm going to check behind the portrait just to make sure there's not any moving panels or anything, because I'm being paranoid.
Okay, make a wisdom check.
All right.
But -5.
Oh, I may not make that one. We'll see.
Penalty.
Let me get back to my dice roller. So wisdom -6 or -5. Let's see.
And you're just starting to get out of the bath now, and you see he's scooting around, and he's checked out he went through every drawer on the desk and felt around it, and then he goes over after about 3 minutes, and then he goes over to this painting, and he's fiddling with it. And do you actually physically move it or anything? The painting, like, do you thoroughly check it out, or are you just
Yeah, I mean, I'll tilt it to look behind it and all that fun stuff.
The name of the ship is called the Maybell.
Okay.
It's a prominent, well, not prominent, but that's the name of the ship, Maybell. And you can see this chap, this blue-eyed, ragged beard, well-dressed scoundrel, defying the storm and this creature trying to grab his ship as he maneuvers through this whole area. And this must be some famous person or something. You guys haven't gotten any information really, so I kind of jumped the gun down the commons if you guys wanted to ask around. But anyway, you guys went upstairs. We'll move with that. And so, and do you do anything beyond just kind of look at it intently?
I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna tilt it or try to shift it if it's not actually nailed to the wall.
And did you make that wisdom check?
I may have done it wrong. I got if I subtract 5 from my roll, I rolled a 17. I've got a 12, and my wisdom is 14. So
no, actually, you add that. That's a penalty.
Well, then I didn't make it at all. I missed it by 10.
Okay. You look at the painting. It's a bit worn. You notice the back's a bit worn. The edges are a bit ragged, but you don't see much beyond that. And you put it back and move on to whatever is next.
The wardrobe I'm just going to look at and put up like my spare clothes and stuff. I don't know that they're gonna. I'm not gonna check that.
Yeah, it's got spot for clothing. There's a bunch of towels in there and stuff, and a couple of robes.
Do you tell me about the desk?
Yeah, I'll mention what I found with all the nautical stuff.
You can take a quick look at it. Roll 20-sided. Just a minute, because you go over and you check it out. You're looking at these charts and stuff, and
I rolled a 9.
So
good.
Yeah, their nautical charts seem to be vague outlines of coasts and other things like that. And there's logs, and you realize that these logs were written by the same person, perhaps, and it was this guy named Captain Nbod.
Huh.
And you read, and you only spend about 5 minutes, but already you can tell that this guy, he's well traveled, and there's places you don't recognize on here. There's astronomical readings that are just like that, and you're like trying to think that would put you like, holy cow, like a couple thousands of miles away, right? And it's just impressive. Some of them you shake your head, you don't understand what it is and where it is, and it's like off the charts to you, beyond your knowledge. But this Captain Nbod is apparently, and then of course that name echoes back in your head.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And you have to spend a lot more time to get more out of that, but you realize that, okay, wow.
Yeah. Once everything's kind of died down a little bit, I'll go back and make some notes and comparisons and whatnot and try and make a little bit more sense out of it. See if I can also get a sense of who Nbod was or is.
Now you see that Arthur has joined you, or I should say Somos? No, Arthur. Yeah, no, sorry, I should say Somos has joined. Okay, sorry. Start again. Arthur, you're continuing. You've gone from the painting now, and you checked out the wardrobe, and it was bolted down too. It seems pretty nondescript and nice, well made, and you didn't find anything there struck out. And the last thing was the bed.
Yeah, and the bed I'm just gonna sleep on.
Right. And you guys kind of sum up, and now I'll move. You guys are going to head downstairs again?
Yeah, that'll work.
That was the plan. So you put on your best clothes or whatever, or some new fresh clothes and your cleanest. And you guys... Yeah, and you head downstairs. Now we'll transfer to Toki and Vama. You've recently, a couple days ago, you parted with Tyrath, and he was going to some local shrine he'd heard of. To pay homage or whatever, and he would meet you back at the city, he said, in a week or whatever, and he wished you luck, and you guys parted.
Yeah, not a problem. We would have made an arrangement where perhaps between the hours of say sunset to midnight, we'll be there. If he doesn't show, he doesn't show. But if he does, we'd love to share a pint again. If we don't see him for a week straight, we'll assume that he's gone somewhere else.
Gotcha.
That's the best we can do.
Yeah. And
you trust him, but he's a half-orc, you know?
True.
He's got his own thing.
And the next 2 days go quite uneventfully, and your guard goes down a little bit. You're out of the wilds now, and you're in free land, and everything seems to be in order and running well. And
does it still smell just as foul as it did when we left here?
Actually, that's a reason for Toki's guard to go up. Instead of, he's leaving the wilderness and back into that crazy patch of
city. Yeah, that weird place where so many people.
Okay, Toki, now you remember what I have told you, though. You remember what we have learned.
Tie it down.
All right. It will be good. It will be good.
Now,
besides, have you seen this woman? Her name is, well, I'll remember her by her face, the other side of her face. You know? You'll see everything that you think is negative about this place. You will forget the moment that you see her backside. Huh?
Her backside.
And we're gonna head to the Blue Lobster whenever we can. He's got to see this. He's got to see this.
Nice. And thusly you go. Now Tyrus has the Duergar girl, right?
Yeah, and what that's his.
He takes her off. We'll see what comes of that. Now he was originally the one that she took to, right? Anyway. Yeah.
No, they say, and you know, but he apparently had something to do. He was going to turn her into the authorities.
Okay.
For a proper
Prosecution?
execution, chastisement, like punished for
Nice.
being a Dwergar. I'm not.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
at least I
anyway,
have 4
so
can't
you guys
fathom
went
it.
on, and you see the lights of Loftwick, and it's perched on the edges of the mountain range, real quite quaintly. The city, it's kind of tiered, and it's quite a wonderful city. 45,000 residents, roughly, and
5 times the
quite
number in England in 1100.
yeah, it's quite a prosperous city. The Yeomanry, this one, Loftwick, and you find yourself in familiar streets, and Toki's kind of your shoulder, and you probably have a cloak on and whatnot. I don't know. You guys don't stand out too much. I don't know unless you've grown a little more cautious in your experiences, and you make your way, and there up ahead is the large Blue Lobster Inn, and it looks the same and quite welcoming, and the light spills out of the windows, and you hear the sound of merriment coming from inside. It's about 10 o'clock, and you guys go through the front doors, and you see the familiar scene, and you see Mola there moving around, taking orders, and there's another girl working, and you see Javius Knoll, the owner that you met before, he's busy behind the bar and whatever, and the smells of the kitchen are wafting out. There's a play going on in the corner at the moment. It seems everybody's clapping and laughing, and there's music picking up the notes, and
if I'm back down there, sorry to interrupt, but if I'm back down there by this time, I'm sitting front row and and just eating, just loving it.
Okay. Now you're with him. So Arthur, are you gonna? It seems quite catching, his mood coming over this dwarf. You guys have been fighting rats for so long.
Yeah,
he seems to have opened up quite a bit.
I'm going to enjoy some drinking and kind of hanging out. I don't know about being front and center, but I'll sit at his table.
Okay, and so he's kind of taken up a side of a commons, and there's you see William there, and he high fives his tankard at you, and hey, and he seems a friendly guy, and he's across the table from you. I mean, you could chat with him if you wanted to or whatever, and his friends are about. Mala comes up, and oh, you're back. How's your room?
It's very good, thank you.
Okay, have some drinks then. I'll be back. And she whisks away. And now back to Vama. You just entered the room. The play's going on, and there is a dwarf in attendance. he's kind of front and center in one of the tables, and he's clapping his knee and laughing, and they're doing some sort of comic farce at the moment.
Yeah, I would expect a dwarf to be seeing the comic farce. Huh? We haven't seen one of them in a while. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm decked out in my cleric robes. So the only thing that's missing from my uniform is my weapon.
From your uniform, sir. If we have a space open on a
what kind of robes
we'll
do you mean? Like, are you like official sort of uniform type?
Well, I'm a cleric of the sea god.
Poseidon, which one? Like which genre?
No, I went straight with what was in Unearthed Arcana.
No. We pulled it. Didn't we pull that from Greyhawk?
Oh,
that might have been Greyhawk. Oh,
okay, Greyhawk, Greater God, not detailed.
Okay,
but it's on the Greater Gods list.
Right.
Oerdian Suli, I think an Oerdian god.
Yeah. Okay. No. That works, and you might.
His name is Procan.
And you might even be somewhat recognized, especially at this inn with its sort of seafaring theme.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's landlocked sea.
Earlier, I'm right at home with all this nautical stuff.
You're sort of carrying the party at this point. You're picked it up a notch again. You notice everyone seems to be quite excited, and so Vama and Toki come in, and we'll have Arthur. You could make a intelligence check, please.
All right.
When that's done, I got a question from Vama's end.
Yeah, and I'm just doing this to see if he actually takes note of your guys' entrance.
So,
well, that's under my intelligence, so.
Toki's people probably worship the sea, and that's why I was being sacrificed to that creature that lived in the sea. Would I recognize another cleric of the sea god with by dress or holy symbol or?
No, that you're totally such separate civilizations.
And by the same token, does Vama recognize that? Because it'd be very unusual here, and you remember what his former profession was and who he worked for, right?
Right. And you would recognize, Vama, you would recognize a cleric of that god. You would recognize the colors.
Well, that's an unusual sight this far inland, hey?
Yeah, that is a bit, it stands out a little bit.
But then again, so is the blue lobster. So you could totally a nudge, though, just a nudge and a little kind of like head nod over to that, up to the front of the line there, and you see that guy? Huh. Just say, huh, whatever that means. Yeah.
Well, there are spaces here and there, and his table's pretty packed. But you guys, there are tables further back where there's space, and you guys can find a spot to sit for now. And you're a little ways away, but you did take note. And what did you roll, by the way?
I rolled an 11. My intelligence is 12.
Yeah, so you saw a strange person come into the room. Two strange people, actually. You can tell they're travel worn. They've come a long distance. One is a tall, bronze skin, kind of brown skin, an analogy would be like a Polynesian type, if I'd use like from our world. I hate doing that, okay. But this hulking, muscular youth, and he's got a cloak on. Yeah, and he's got a nice spear.
Aren't I still wearing that snake scale robe?
Oh yeah, so they're quite exotic. These two characters that come in, they're definitely not locals. They've traveled a long way, and the other one is. You said you had tattoos and whatnot. Are you kind of covered up at the moment, Vama?
At that point, he has an eye patch.
Oh, yeah, and you see
He only stands at about 5'4", but he's got an eye patch, and his one existent eye is amber colored and bright. The rest of his skin is incredibly pale.
He might have elven blood in his veins. Like his features are so fair, no facial hair or anything. Well, actually, I guess half elves might be able to grow some facial hair.
The longest it's ever been is how it is now, because he hasn't shaved in like 2 weeks, and it's like approximately an eighth of an inch long.
That's right, and. But they're just interesting characters. You're just like, okay. The city. There are a couple other interesting characters in the room, but more like exotic and wealthy types and such. But these you can tell they're true adventurers.
So your half elf grows facial hair like I do.
And yeah, they're well armed. Like they got bows and swords and armor and packs, and they got gear.
I'm carrying a couple of nice spears. Actually, I've got a really nice spear, actually.
Yeah. And so, but you did not notice that, Salmos. Salmos, you're having a good time. You're clapping out. And actually, you've been pulled up and you're dancing with some halflings and some and whoever, right? So you're dancing for a few minutes. But you did notice it, Arthur, and you took note. And you saw them go back, and they got near the fire because it was getting cold out, and they probably want to warm up, so they want to go sit by the fire. And so Vama and Toki, where do you guys want to sit? And okay, go ahead. Sorry, Jeff.
I'm gonna go by the bar and pick up 2 more tankers of ale, and then nonchalantly make my way over to these 2 adventurers.
We'll sidle our way up to the nearest open slot, either on the common table, if that's still there and hasn't been broken in the last bar fight. If there's a common table slot still open, we'll do that. If not, let's sidle right up to the bar as well. And
Toki starts just like heading out upstairs because he's going to the room.
Toki, nah.
I mean, Toki can go upstairs. That just means I'm bringing you 2 beers. So.
Well, the thing is that we. Yeah.
Well, you motion Toki. You see him motion to you. Whoa, Toki. Now you guys have gotten a bit rudimentary communication over the last couple weeks. Not a lot, but some bare bone stuff. I mean, yes, no, and sleep and go there.
I'm gonna be like, why are you grabbing me? The island calls.
There are ways to do this.
Yes. I will follow your lead.
Just get a fucking drink, eh?
So you guys sit down,
At all?
and Toki, you're a bit antsy. Yeah, you were just assuming, like, yeah, okay, let's go upstairs, and
Yeah, I was going to go straight for it.
right. Mola comes up to your table. She's coming around, and hey, it's you and him. Her eyes go wide as she points at Toki.
Now you'll get a nudge. You see? You see?
Is he? And she looks at you, kind of goes, is he? He kind of whispers and goes down to Vama. Is he okay? He's not gonna wreck anything, is he?
We've been
Toki just gives a big old grin.
we've been away for a few weeks and out in the woods. He's a little anxious. Do we have something strong? You know, like do you have something stronger than beer?
We got some Red Hand brandy.
Yeah, get two.
Okay, she nods and scurries off, scampers off. And she'll be back shortly. Then you notice this tall gentleman, well-dressed, with a sword at his hip, and a cast to his features, his kind of aquiline features, bear this authoritarian hauteur, but he covers it up well as he comes over with this grin.
He's sporting his attempt at a scraggly beard, but it's way too well manicured to be scraggly. But he tried.
It's my first beard. And he's coming to your table. Okay, so go ahead, Jeffrey. You were gonna go up to them, you said?
Yes, I'm gonna go up to him with 2 beers and introduce myself and say, my name is Arthur. I am new to this town. You gentlemen look like you might know your way around the local countryside. Is there much in the way of work for someone that is handy with a sword around here?
Vama takes a quick look at Toki. You want to take this one?
Toki's looking at you, man.
Excuse me. Are our drinks here yet?
Soon.
These 2.
Yeah, he puts down 2 glass goblets of this nice amber dark ale.
We are not from here.
You seem like
Your
you've
name?
been here before, at least.
Yes, but we're not from here, if you understand my meaning.
Yes.
And is it for us? Have a seat
Yeah,
with
for
us. I am disinclined to speak to people that are standing while I'm sitting, if you understand my meaning.
I understand that completely. I will sit down and sip my own beer.
Yeah.
So, like, Toki grabs the beer. It's like, we go to room now.
No. Just.
He sets down the beer and he watches and waits. Like, what's going on?
Mala comes around the corner of a counter and swivel hips over and has a tray, and she's got these little quaint cattle horns. They're probably about 8 inches long, and they're sitting in these little silver frames, and she puts them down. She goes, here's your red hammer. That's 3 gold or 14 gold pieces.
Yes, of course, we'll add it to the price of the room. What, do you want cash on hand now?
Oh, you need rooms? Which
will be? You know which one.
And she looks a bit embarrassed, and you see her glance at the dark bearded newcomer. It's the room's taken. She's kind of mutters, "We have other ones."
Oh no! Please, dear, please don't hurt yourself over it. Let's get another round on top of this, okay? For my friend as well. He'll be paying for the room.
What is wrong with the room? Go to room?
Toki, drink.
Anything else, guys?
Nothing just yet. Thank you.
And she's busy, goes off, other tables. And this guy sits down now at the table with you, and you notice back briefly to Somos. You come back to the table, and you see that Arthur's gone, but a quick glance, you look around. Actually, your dwarf actually wouldn't be a quick glance. You're not sure where he is. Make a wisdom check. Actually, your wisdom's really good, isn't it?
Yeah. Wisdom. And I rolled a 3.
You don't panic or anything or whatever. You step up onto the bench, and that gives you leverage. And then you see the big guy. There he is.
Okay.
He's just sitting down at some table.
Talking to some people.
There's a way with this.
I will order myself another flagon and tip a couple more gold on stage, and I'll head over that way.
Is Artur still sitting with us?
Yes.
Yes, he is. During this time, and now you're not aware of this dwarf yet. You saw him earlier. He was this cleric.
Vama's going to be brazen as hell at the table, though, and he's going to say, Artur, you know you have paid for a room.
Well, we didn't know it was your room.
But you know now.
It was not told that it was rented. She offered it.
You can have the bed. Thank you.
Well, if you wish to sleep on the floor, that is fine.
I have no problem with that.
Toki just likes it. It's too soft.
Now you see this dwarf comes walking up to the table. It was the one that was dancing in front of the play earlier. And he's holding this tankard in his hand, and he's sauntering up. He's feeling pretty good. He's had a few. He's a little lit, but he's a dwarf.
No, I'm not. Poison.
Oh, yeah, your constitution stuff. Yeah.
He's only drank one pony keg, man. He's nothing.
Well, I meant purposely. You're a little bit warm. You're like...
I'm just feeling good. I like the environment.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Your charisma is now officially 15.
No. Yeah, I'm not saying you're out of your element by any measure. You saunter up, though, to the table and see that they're all sitting. And how tall are you? You're probably 4 feet, 4 or 5 or something?
I'm like 5'1".
Oh, okay, 5'1", yeah. So you guys see this dwarf walking up, and he seems familiar with Arthur. And you guys haven't introduced yourselves yet.
Well, I'm going to introduce myself. Greetings. I am Somos, and I see you've met my friend.
Somos. Have a seat. Yeah. Thank you for the room. Be happy to share it with you.
Excuse me?
Vama and my friend, Toki.
And you see this big, hulking, dark guy, and he looks at you with these dark eyes and sizes you up a bit. And
well, I size up pretty well. I'm 181 pounds.
Yeah.
He weighs as much as both of us.
Toki's big.
What does this meaning? We paid for your room. What?
Have a seat. We might have to talk.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you very much. I get nestled down.
Mama says, "Are these demons?"
No, they're not demons. They're called dwarves. And
I'm gonna let you guys roll. I'm gonna let you guys role play this for a bit. I'm looking up something quickly. Go with it.
Oh, I'm motioning for another round of drinks.
Okay, we can do this. Emma cannot drink as much as the dwarf.
Actually, at this point, you guys are drinking that Red Hammer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you guys you definitely feel that. That's a strong drink. And I actually, in particular, Toki.
No.
Toki
sips anything that's alcoholic, and he puts it away. He won't drink anything alcoholic at all.
Ah.
Well, yeah. Order him whatever he wants.
Some wheatgrass or something?
Actually, he points towards the fish tank, and he's like, "I'll take one of those fish."
No, you would not. On my blonde hair, you would not.
He's like, "What the hell? I've been eating those my whole life. Why is this a problem?"
This one stays here. I've already figured that much out.
Okay, captured prisoner fish. Gotcha. Why would you do this?
He's, from what I am understanding, he's a mascot.
It's your tribal totem. Gotcha. It's your tribal totem. I apologize. Yes, I understand.
Okay. Okay.
No disrespect. He realizes it's part of your. He believes it's actually a part of your family, and to suggest eating a spiritual brother of your tribe would have been highly disrespectful. So he's apologizing. Just so sorry. So sorry.
No. Misunderstanding. We are all good.
Okay.
Everything is good.
He gives you his red beard, the horn.
Yeah.
Of stuff. Here, you can have this too.
Many thanks.
There we go. That's what I like to see. Good. So, you guys are together, eh?
We are traveling companions, yes.
Yeah? And you've got the same room together, eh?
We have.
This happens to be a room that we're very familiar with because it is our room. Thank you for paying for it. But we'll make it interesting for you.
Oh?
Is there a problem with this?
What do you mean by making it interesting?
We have left some things in that room, which we'll be happy to share with you.
The charts or other things?
No. Something else. Something that would make it worthwhile for the couple of pennies that you threw at the barmaid to have the room and have a, let me guess, bath? Did you get a little foot rub or something like that? Yes, don't worry. It'll be worth it. Trust me.
Toki is very confused by the idea of a single building that is both communal and private.
Do you remember the painting on the wall? Yeah? You've been up there already? I can smell you smell clean. I know the soap. Yeah.
Yes, I remember the painting on the wall.
I'm smoking flavored cigars too, so.
The man in that painting, I know him very well. He has given a few things that we have permission to share.
Well,
they're hidden in the room.
I'm looking over at Arthur and I'm like, giving him just the look of, you didn't find anything? like he
Vema's like stroking the edge of his own tunic's sleeve here, like this while he's talking too. Like when he says share, he's moving it across like as if he's assessing the value of something. It's true. It's true. I will tell you everything about that room, just to prove that it is actually our room.
Got to take a quick break here. I got to take my dog outside. I will be right back.
No problem. Okay. Well, what all do you know about that room?
It might be better to talk in the room and not here in the common.
Ah, well, that would make sense.
The islands call to me.
Toki.
Yeah, I figure I learned how to speak English from you, so I've got to kind of emulate the accent a little.
Keep it simple. You've only had 3 weeks at most to acquaint this language. Now, you guys have been intensely close, and you've been working at it every day, so you have a basic grasp of common now, Toki.
Okay, gotcha.
Very pigeon, right?
Do you know the way?
Let's have another round. Bring it up to the room, huh? I think we might have to talk. We'll meet each other in a better acquaintanceship, but outside of this room, there are ears and there are eyes. And this is a very special room. Yes, but here there are ears and eyes on us.
Very well. Let us go to more private accommodations.
Arthur, give me a wisdom check, please.
Okay. Maybe. That'll be under my wisdom.
Pass?
That's under my wisdom, so yeah.
You looked now during this conversation and about you guys enjoyed a few drinks here, and about 20 minutes went by as you had some kind of awkwardness in this tense moment, and finally agreed to move upstairs and have another drink. But you noticed you looked over about 4 times, and every time you swear William was watching.
Hmm.
And he would look away quickly, and then he's gone. Last time you looked, he's gone, but it was just
If there was any way of doing so, Vama would have, when he said there are other eyes, he isn't watching us, he would have shifted his eyes real quickly to William, and maybe in that direction, and then looked back and made a very clear eye contact.
you don't know William.
No,
I don't know who he is, do I?
but if he noticed him doing it,
No, he doesn't. This was just Arthur. Yeah. And
so he would have maybe then, but he didn't.
yeah, no, that might have made Arthur more aware. You telling him that.
Yeah,
I'm very aware of that. That's why my cogs keep spinning.
We were being watched by a very shady little character.
Is that the rat face guy?
I think he's kind of rat face.
We will take the conversation upstairs or elsewhere. Huh?
I agree. Let's get out of the open.
Mala
where-
swings by just then and it's like, so you guys need anything else?
We'll take a couple more rounds in the room. Thank you.
Oh, you're all what? You're staying together?
We're going to discuss things, but in the room.
Oh, of course. And I'll bring some drinks up in a few moments.
Very well. That would be good.
It would be much the same as it was before, dear.
Oh,
This
I'll
time
see.
we will request a bit an extra serving of privacy.
She gives a shy look at Toki. It's like, and just gives a giggle and scampers off. Toki, you're like, woman.
He'll get another nudge if I'm close enough to do it. It's like,
Normally he's naked. By the way,
Toki is very of spirit women. It's kind of like you go into hell, you eat the food, you stay forever. He's like, I don't think so, but looking is all right.
yeah. Normally I'm naked. He's like, this whole clothing thing is in this cold weather. You're Toki. That's what really surprised you was how friggin' cold it's getting. That's something you're not used to. At night especially, you've been shivering, teeth chattering, losing sleep. And you see Vama there cuddled up snoring, and you're just like, and it's like, 3 degrees out or 5 degrees, and you're just...
Keep in mind that Vama doesn't even sleep with a blanket except for, like, he just takes his tunic and kind of sets it as... He's got a ring of warmth, man. He doesn't think about shit.
All right. Yeah, you can just
By the way, when you mention
sit back.
By the way, I'm going to assume that when you're mentioning 3 and 5 degrees, that you're meaning Celsius.
Canadian.
Yeah. It's definitely Celsius, and so we're floating at around just about freezing.
Yeah, no kidding. It's really cold.
I'm just going to throw that out there because my brain defaults to Fahrenheit because
Still
Because
cold as
there's
fuck though. We're at early autumn in the hills.
because there are the countries that use metric, and then there's the country that put a man on the fucking moon.
Well, there's the
You've
country
seen metric.
there's a country that's
Sure, they used metric. They didn't need imperial.
there's a country that still uses imperial, and then there's everyone else who's wrong.
Yeah, that's actually I said that wrong, but
Somebody
You're right.
uses natural measurement, and somebody uses these artificial measurements that only scientists can actually validate.
So, moving on, you guys go up the stairs and head back to the room,
Yep.
and you see Arthur fishes out the key you guys are familiar with, and he unlocks the door, and you guys go inside, and you see there's a little table there you guys can sit at, and everything as it was. A quick glance, Vama, you notice
Everything?
You look around, you see the bath's been drained.
What about the picture on the wall?
A quick glance shows you the
Don't-
picture seems to be normal.
Oh.
And everything else, you quickly, I don't know, the other 2 characters are kind of watching you guys react as you come in, probably a little bit, and your curiosity, and your everything seems to be in place.
The chest?
Chest is there. It's locked.
Oh, it's locked.
Yeah, again.
The wardrobe?
Wardrobe's closed.
All looks in order. The straight razor?
It's in its spot.
Looks good.
And by the way, outside of the box here, I have to ask you quickly. I should do this in Facebook.
I have a question while you're typing. Just out of character, do you have a crow familiar yet, or no?
No, I never cast the find familiar yet.
Darren, while you're in Facebook, you should look at that Greyhawk Maps site I linked.
What happened to the egg then?
You'll have it.
Oh yeah, what do you do with the egg, Vanna?
Well, we're gonna be setting it. It's keeping in my small pouch. I have a musette going this way and a musette going this way. One smaller and one larger, and the smaller one is where it's at, along with a bunch of bundled rags and all. And that's gonna be taken off and straping it across the bedpost. This is where I was hoping to leave it. I don't want to carry it anymore. Before Eric just got back, I wanted to take a bio really quick, just like 90 seconds.
Okay, everybody, a quick short break. Everything's been going really well, by the way. I appreciate it.
Right. But if everything looks in order, good. There will be a quick nod.
And so we'll just say you guys sit down. You're waiting for Mola. She'll show up any second with the drinks. You have something you want to tell these guys. Obviously, you want to have privacy and
not until the chick leaves, though. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's be right back.
Yeah.
Okay.
90 seconds.
Did I miss anything important?
No, we've just retired to the room to talk. It's all. First thing we did was look around and make sure that everything was looking the way we left it, and then we're about to have a conversation.
All right.
Pretty cold outside.
Yeah.
I think it's like
really cold.
I think it's 11 degrees outside with like 20-mile-per-hour winds. So yeah. Come on, Hannah. Come on, girl.
So one person I feel sorry for when it's this cold is my buddy Tracy, because he's got a Newfoundland puppy, and getting the dog to go back inside when it's this cold is a little hard.
I've got a pit bull, so she wants to get inside as quick as possible.
Yeah, well, Newfies have lots of fluffy fur and are made for cold weather, so they just kind of want to stay out in it.
All right. Well, while the conversation's gone on, I'll offer everybody a cigar. Basically, the same stuff I'm smoking right now. It's a thick cigar with a melon flavor to it.
Why you got to do infused cigars? Those are a crime against God.
Well,
we have a pious individual.
Oh no, trust me, I would just be smoking regular cigars, but I'm 42 years old and I've smoked most of my life, so I'm trying to scale down.
Well, infused cigars are one way to do it because they're nasty.
These are actually really good.
You say they're a crime against God, but you remember dwarves are also a kind of a crime against God, so.
Oh.
Shots fired. Not fantasy dwarves.
He's a cleric.
Real world dwarves are kind of a crime against God. Fantasy dwarves, not so much.
They're called.
I'm gonna go there.
All right.
So
well,
there's a discreet knock at the door.
Vama's gonna whisper, "Look, she's shapely and she's a little heavy for her size, but I just want to warn you. She carries diseases."
We're not going to take your woman. It's okay.
Vama's half elf is immune to some of the diseases that are carried from human to human.
Yeah, but you're a half elf. You get those weird squirrel diseases.
Rabies, bubonic plague. Come on, give it up.
It's a pearl aid.
Everybody knows that elves do it with small furry animals in the trees.
Hey, you know,
So
they can do things with their tails that you wouldn't imagine.
back to the room. You guys are sitting down and sort of,
How subtle.
are not sitting. I'm not sure. The room's big enough. You can all be quite comfortable. It's a kind of bit of a suite. In a way, it's got an area with a table and a kind of a double couch, a couple chairs you could sit, and there's a discreet rap at the door. It's probably Mola bringing your refreshments. And
Oh, I forgot something. Okay.
anyone want to answer the door?
Vama will say, "Forgot something."
Yeah, I'll answer the door to see who it is.
Yeah, it is Mola. She's got your drinks, and she's like curious and stuff. And she comes in and puts them down on the table, and she's standing looking at you guys. And so you're gonna stay in the room again?
Look at
We're
my
coming to an
companions.
agreement, so
Yeah, look at my companions. Yeah, like just with a quick raise of the eyebrows, like don't
Did you
sweat it.
see-
We're all shady.
She kind of bows, goes towards Vama, and kind of, did you see him? The ghost.
Nah,
Him. And she looks at the painting, nods at the painting.
I wanna touch her gently on the shoulder and whisper as closely as I can to her ear, like enough that my breath will warm her neck. Nah. What would it take to acquire a small keg of rum at this hour?
Oh,
money.
Make a +3 charisma check.
Oh God, I wish somebody had higher charisma than me. +3 charisma
Did you
check.
tip her? No, you didn't tip her, did you? The other guys.
Not one coin has passed my fucking pocket. However, I can make that happen if it needs be. Oh, actually, let's do something even better than that. I'll give her the whole damn thing. I'm not a leper. You know what? I've got a gold armband that was taken from a Hobgoblin Renegade.
Hmm.
On my arm, I've got 2 of them. I'm going to slip it off very carefully. It was on the Hobgoblin's wrist, and it's up here above my bicep. Just like that. It's made out of solid gold. And I gently stroke her wrist with it and let it fall into her palm and say, "Where can we get a keg of rum at this hour?" And let it go. Hopefully the weight will caress her palm.
She knows gold when she sees it.
This is between you and I. Where can we get this?
She breath goes in. She looks at you, and your one eye. She can't help it.
Hey, I have an eye patch, so it's presentable.
I think I can. I think so. It might take a little while.
Think harder, move quicker. I'll see you soon, love.
It'll be an hour at least.
Go.
I have to sneak out of work, and it might be an hour and a half.
I'll see you soon.
And she gives a little giggle and caresses her bracelet and kind of tries to slip it on and hide it at the same minute. And she's all giggly and fumbles out the door and is gone.
My friend here will be loving to see you back. Okay, good.
Yeah, and you guys have these fresh ales in front of you, and you all sit down now seriously for a minute, and the pipes come out or whatever, and look around.
Yeah, I will light a pipe because why not?
Well, now that we're all here, gentlemen, without further ado, I will say to you that I know absolutely nothing about this room, and I bullshitted my way in here. Do you still like me?
Sandbag. You.
I completely lost the humor in my face. I'm just.
So you guys are laughing. I'm taking it. These characters just start laughing their face off.
Yeah, I'm going to burst out laughing, and he's going to get, the hearty man slaps on the back, and I'm going to take a large drink of my beer and be like, "Well done, well done."
This is how we do it here. No. So where are you guys really from, though? I can tell that you're both renegade.
I am from across the sea, from a land sadly plagued by slavery and many unscrupulous characters.
What do you mean slavery and unscrupulous characters? You mean just anywhere on the ocean, or do you mean the Pomarsh?
The Pumarsh.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He's got an accent from there. He's got an accent from there. Vama can hear it.
Mm-hmm. I've been to the Pomarsh several times.
Hopefully it was in the better days and not in these dark times.
No, it was definitely in the dark times, and I can smell that you are actually not wanting to go back there anytime soon, yeah?
And not until my circumstances put me in a better position.
With all due respect, sir, I'm in the same boat, if you understand my meaning.
I do.
Arthur's hands involuntarily sort of goes toward his neck, but then stops and goes down again.
Let's just say that when the circumstances grant me a return, there shall be those that are very unhappy to see me.
You stand out like a sore thumb. You stand out like a pile of coal on a ballroom floor in this place, huh? I've gone as far away from the coast as I possibly could, and I end up with Yeomanry to see people like you and you.
I'm still fuming over the room. I'm still fuming over how I got in the room.
Don't fume over it. Don't fume over it. Trust me.
I was attempting to get as far.
The dwarf looks pretty pissed. In fact, I'm not sure if he sat down.
I've never seen a dwarf that doesn't look pissed.
I'm still
I'm
standing.
going to be honest.
Sorry, go ahead,
I'm going to
Eric.
be honest. He's a dwarf. I'm going to be honest. He's a dwarf. I'm 6 foot tall. I'm sitting down. I can't tell if he's sitting down.
I'm only like 4 inches taller than he is.
So, Eric, we'll go to let him speak a minute. And Brian, Toki, you two haven't said what you're going to do yet. These two guys have kind of sat down at the table. They're drinking and watching each other, and they had this moment where they both laughed.
Right.
You were there, and so
Toki's barely following the conversation because there's talk about a barrel of coal on the ballroom floor. He's like, "What is he going on about?"
No kidding.
And as far as the room goes and the magic, he has no idea how to open up the portal home. Only that the shit happens in this fucking room, and I'm not leaving until that shit happens, and I can go back.
So you're actually don't even want to sit even. You're a bit antsy, and you notice the Polynesian guy who doesn't wear many clothing or much clothing whatsoever is sort of rigid.
You said there was like a robe of blending made out of snake scales or something. So
that's right. That's pretty exotic. You definitely stand out.
I'm wearing trophies of my kills. I'm still wearing that crown that I took from the guy. So I'm like decked out in trophies from my kills and looking like, what is this guy doing? So
Conan the Usurper here.
Okay, so you guys get the picture. These are no nonsense guys. They've come out of nowhere. But Eric, let's let him have his say. You brought these guests, quote unquote, invited. Yeah, they seem to kind of invite themselves in a way and talk themselves into your room, and now they're sitting in your room that you thought you paid for, and so on. But they've seen not aggressive or anything, and they seem to have some information, and they seem quite covert and a bit, despite their drinking and laughing. They're a pretty serious group, and they have some information or something, but no reason to trust them. Go ahead, Eric.
I'm standing in a corner where I can see everybody, and absently, you know, like I'll pull out, you know, my holy symbol and take a big pull off of the cigar, and flagons in the other hand. I'm ready to use the flagon as a weapon if need be. I do not like. It's obvious that I do not like you guys in this room.
Yeah, if Toki knew about the connotations behind your holy symbol and what you represented and who you represented, this would be a completely different conversation.
Now, is there some sort of motif or feature of your armor that would have an aquatic nature that would be obvious, like waves or seashells?
Yeah, I think as the symbol as like kind of drawn like this with a couple of more coming off, you know, very stylized like wave. Like I went and said that my holy symbol is made of electrum, and there are probably pieces of my armor with the electrum that just have that symbol, not extravagantly, but you know,
Yeah.
clean to see.
It's a bit thin, but Toki, you've noticed that this holy man, perhaps, and you're suspicious because you fear he might be a mage or some magic user, which would really piss you off, being a barbarian. But now you're starting to sense that this cleric is, and his armor's motif with the waves and whatnot and seashells is associated with the sea. But it's a bit of a stretch. So,
well, in my experience, although my tribe obviously has some sort of a connotation with that sea god or whatever, or a sea god of some sort, pretty much all the sea gods that I'm aware of are pretty evil. So I'm not really seeing a connection between his little stylized wave and a.
Okay. So let's go with it then, as we are, and move on. We have this scenario where you're in all the room, and there's been this tacit agreement that you would share the room in exchange for some bounty. He hinted that it'll be worth it.
Right. I'm not sure if we actually agreed on that or not. I'm kind of sensing from the dwarves' non-verbal language that this isn't quite agreed on yet.
Well, nothing's been no hands have been shaken. I'm just saying there's been there's been innuendo and stuff, right? You guys.
Yeah, but Vama's a bullshit artist, and he's never actually parlayed with a dwarf in his life.
Okay, but you're talking to Arthur now.
Sure.
And
he's
now, well, the cards are on the table now. Arthur, what do you do? You notice there's a bit of a tense situation now. The dwarf isn't. I mean, you know, dwarves will be dwarves, but your dwarf is like saying, "Hey, these are strangers. What the fuck? This is our room." And he's looking at this big Polynesian guy who's like hovering at the shoulder of this. And you guys, I don't think names have even been exchanged. I know they had. That's right.
Well, they know. No, names have
They
been.
know me. They don't know him.
Yeah, we know our tour's name.
No, you know mine because when I came up to the table, I was like, "Greetings, I am Somos."
Somos and
It
Artur.
was all jovial and whatnot. Now just
Yeah.
it's
Things
like
have frosted a bit.
Storm right now.
Right, that's fair though. That's fair, and it's understood.
Samos, sit down, drink, let us talk.
I am drinking just fine where I'm standing here.
Somos, maybe if you got closer, you would be able to see this. And Vama will reach into his larger musette and pull out a scroll case made out of bone, and it's very intricately carved on the outside, and open it up and pull out several sheets of parchment and lay them on the floor directly in front of us where we're sitting. These may be of interest to us.
I'll get a little bit closer just where I can see them. But as I get closer, I kind of look in the corner where I've got my maul. And then I'll look back, and then I'll take a quick look.
I will tell you right now, this is not my room. But I will also tell you that this is not your room. This room, there's something very special about it. I've come back to look. You guys have it.
Paid for it.
No, you did not pay for it. Trust me, man. I will pay you 10 times this much just for the ability to get in the door. Look at this map. Look at this map.
I'll look at the map.
Dear Dungeon Master, there was some paperwork that was never looked at before, as well, that was pulled, plus the stuff that you see that man on the painting there.
Yes.
His name is Nbod.
I know.
You know this. This is Nbod's private notes, his ship's log.
I know. I've read them.
Have you?
Yes.
Well, then what does it say?
I don't know. The GM never got back to me.
No, I told you lots of information. You only had about 6-7 minutes to skim over it.
I know enough. I did not have enough time to peruse them as much as I would like to, but I recognize that that this journal here is from this captain. I don't want to mispronounce it. Was it just Nbod?
Nbod.
Nbod. This Captain Nbod. His notes and his maps have been around here. It's not necessarily places I am familiar with.
Which, Eric, by the way, that's what the fish said to you when you gave her the gold.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I wrote it down just to make sure I wouldn't forget, but it's also like the name of the scenario. So,
Yeah. So we're all guessing at this point, right?
Yeah.
What do you know about this Captain Nbod? Have you met him?
He, no, not personally. He keeps meticulous notes.
He does keep meticulous notes. As a matter of fact, he was only fluent in 3 languages. His translator was fluent in another 7 and kept more meticulous notes than even he did. These notes were kept by his translator and not from him. This room was rented by him, but the notes here are from his translator. The ones spread before you in this scroll case. The ones that Vama pulled from his thing. Nbod was a captain, and he was well traveled, but he used to hide here. I know from these notes that he kept a secret here between you and I and you and you. Perhaps we can find out what the secret is, and I almost guarantee that it is going to be worth more than the cost of this room for a few days. We won't speak much more of it until the girl returns. We're going to need this cask of rum, trust me, and it's not going to be for us. My friend Toki here. He knows what I'm talking about. There's something very special about this room. I'm not, what is the word here in Dwarfish? I'm not cattle shitting you.
I get your meaning.
Yeah, but these whatever paperwork that I have is free to be shown to the table.
All right. Look it over, and
I know as much as you guys do. However, I know much about Nbod.
No, so this was Nbod's room. Go on, Ian.
what do we know about Nbod? Other than he was a ship's captain.
He may be dead. We don't know. Nbod has not been seen for... How long has that been? Anyways, several months, yeah?
Yeah, several months. Yeah.
Nbod has not been seen for several months, and it is very likely that he was dead. Vama's accent, by the way, is not able to be picked out, but it is probably Southern. Is most likely dead.
Do we think Nbod was perhaps eaten by that thing in the painting?
Oh, the painting. That's right. I'm gonna go over and see. Has the painting been removed from the wall anytime recently?
You can see that.
It's been shifted.
Yeah,
been
make
shifted back.
a wisdom check.
Sure, can do. We're doing D20 or 3d6.
20.
D20. That is a 15, which to Vema is a success.
Oh, you got good wisdom.
16 wisdom.
Okay, you guys were very careful when you left this place that you positioned the painting just thus, because you know why?
Mm-hmm.
And you notice it's been shifted, and you kind of gulp. There's kind of something grabs your heart a bit, and you're like,
Oh shit! A little flesh, a little more flesh. Vama's very pale. His skin is very light, but a little more flesh, even if possible. More pale is possible. And he looks.
What's the problem? I don't.
Help me!
see what-
Help! Toki, come here. Help me! And help me take off this thing from the wall. This whole painting. Just take the whole thing off.
it's a big
Right.
painting.
Yeah.
And you guys lift it off the wall and take it off, and right away, Vama, what do you do?
Want to peel away part of the back of the painting.
Yeah, and you give a breath of relief as you realize that it's still sealed, the part that you guys put back. And you peel it back, and
Yeah.
you see the little slivers of that special thing sitting there. Those thin slices of pizza.
I want to make direct eye contact with the dwarf. Look at him. Look at this thing. Look back at him. Says that ought to pay for the room. And just leave it like that, unfold with the paper pushed back and all.
Okay, so what's behind the paper?
I'll go up and look since he actually looked at me,
Mhm.
and I'll
Okay,
take a back there.
You see tucked quite cleverly in between the canvas, the double canvas of the painting. Cleverly, seems to be a strange, I'd say like a piece of black paper that's glossy, and it's shaped like a slice. I hate to say this, like a quarter slice of pizza, and it's thin enough that you guys didn't notice it. There's no bulge or anything. Probably altogether, the thing is maybe a quarter-inch thick, and it looks odd. But he shows it to you, and you can tell it's special, very special.
Well, I don't have any of my spells. We kind of forgot to do that before I got started. But I'm assuming detect magic is within my area.
You want to show them, Vama?
I'll show him. Yeah. Vama
You're making them squirm. It's
yeah.
like,
Vama will take this piece. It's like a wedge, like this circle.
Yeah.
He'll take it and set it onto the ground. Step away just a little bit. Okay, watch this. You're going to love this little man. And he fiddles with it with his hands very quickly, and his fingers very dexterously fiddles with it, and it will.
Do you put it on the floor?
Yeah, place it directly on the floor.
Okay.
In the middle, with giving everybody a little clearance. Just step away a little bit.
I'll take one firm step backward.
He'll activate it.
Okay, immediately the one piece snaps into four, which join into a perfect circle. And it looks like the outer edge is an intricate kind of mithril, high silver, magical ring. And inside now becomes a perfect black. Actually, you see the floor disappears. And
Toby leaps across the room, grabs onto the wall, and like he's literally clinging to the wall and looking back at this horror that just occurred. Where
apparently,
space and time no longer matter.
Now, you're close enough, Arthur and Samos are close enough that you can see into the hole, and you can actually tell there's a chamber. There's some cavity there, and there should be the bar down below or whatever, the kitchen underneath you, but it's not there. You do see that there's a cavity, a chamber, and it's kind of starlit, and there's this sparkling, opaque wall, perfect cylinder that goes around the outside, and the bottom's perfectly flat. And there's a few items at the bottom of this chamber, and you see Vama. He's looking down at it, and
Smiling.
he did realize he did adjust. He hit something on the side of this device before he sat up, and it's stable now.
What's in the chamber there besides?
What the hell? What just happened here?
He activated some sort of magical device, I would guess.
Inside there is a.
Toki's a barbarian and therefore pretty much just terrified of whatever it was you just did.
Oh yeah.
No, watch this. Watch this. Vam will reach into his pocket and pull out a copper coin and toss it down in there. It's real.
Yeah, and it lands about 10 feet down. It lands. There's a floor, and you can investigate closer if you'd like. Right now, though, you're about 6-7 feet away from it, but you can see in, and you're kind of peeking into over the edge. It appears that it's weird.
I'm gonna get over to the edge and kind of kneel down and
be careful. Don't touch the edge, though. If you activate it, it will close and it will chop your fucking hand off. Just don't touch the edge. Okay.
I'm not going to touch the edge. I'm just going to look down into it.
Before Arthur does this, I'm going to hopefully try and catch his eye and give him the hairy eyeball. Like I don't know if you should do that.
I'll be careful.
Expecting something crazy to happen because he knows there's got to be a portal back home here.
If you guys want to watch for a moment, Vama will put up his hand like this. He goes, "Watch this, guys. This is cool." And he's going to deactivate it to close it again.
Right.
And then he's going to put it up against the wall, the one that leads out to the hallway.
Right.
Put it up against the wall and activate it again.
And it sticks there, doesn't fall or anything. And the same thing happens at a different dimension. Now you're looking at a spherical chamber from the side. And it looks like the same chamber. It's got the same black, opaque walls that sparkle with this sort of iridescent, magical aura. And there's still some items on the floor. Appear to be clothing, some bundles of rags and stuff, and some rope. And you see again a sparkle in Vama's eyes. He's enjoying himself. It is very impressive. Like, you guys have not seen this kind of power or anything like this. Like, it's just.
What's the diameter of the hole?
10. You could estimate about 10 feet round, and 10 by 10.
Before they do too much more investigation, I want to close it back up again.
And now you're looking at a 90-degree wedge again. It's about 15 inches long at its tip. And
toss it to the ground in front of the dwarf's feet. That ought to pay for the room, huh?
Now Toki's like, how does this get me back to my island?
It doesn't.
It doesn't get you back to your island, but
This is crazy, man. What's going on?
should we find large amounts of treasure, I think this might be an excellent way to transport it.
Hell, if you find a prisoner, is a good way to do it too.
Now, Vama's indicated that he knows a lot more. And he knows a lot more, of course, about what's going on. And he has a bit more to say.
This is his uncharismatic way of suggesting that maybe we're even at this point, so there's no more hostility.
I'm not.
Keep it, by the way.
I'm still just standing there, and I look up at him, and I'm like, "How does that stand for anything?"
Well, that's what we're going to figure out, isn't it? There are a few more tricks like this in the room. That, by the way, you can have. Huh? It's merely a trifle. But it should pay for the room, so I don't need to hear about that anymore, right? I'm just as poor as you are.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is considerably more valuable than this room is.
About 17,000 times more valuable, actually.
Yeah, pretty much. A lot.
So, good. Now that we have that in order.
I'm wearing a crown, man.
Yeah, but that's yours, man. It's not mine to give.
So this character has got some clout. And go ahead, Fama, you were
I
saying
wouldn't call
something.
that cloud. This is dumb luck. Yeah, there's more where that came from, though. But we have a problem here, and that is we have to get to it. This is as much as I know, and I'm going to be frank with you. I'm giving you more information that you can probably survive with. That chest over there, which hopefully is still closed and locked. That chest over there. There's a portal in there that will get Toki home, my friend here. And then wardrobe over there. There's another portal. I don't know where it leads, but I think it's a very, very dark place. There's another portal in this room somewhere too, and I do not know where it is. But we're going to find it because Nbod left a bunch of treasure. And I believe that he is no longer
Alive.
able to utilize it. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Right?
Well,
I've
I
been
am
here
certainly-
before, obviously.
You're telling me that we would be robbing from a sea captain's room.
I'm telling you that you would be taking things from someone who is no longer able to use it.
Right, and where I come from, a sea captain would be buried or burned with his possessions.
We don't know what happened to him. Maybe he's still alive for all I fucking know. But he has been missing for several months, and he owes a lot of people money.
And perhaps to deal more towards your sensibilities, my friend, in investigating these portals, we may find his whereabouts, or at least what happened to him.
Sure, and if
That
we
is something
don't,
I'd be keen on.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, this is just a trifle. This isn't even part of his worries.
I'm still trying to wrap, Somos is still trying to wrap that whole circle thing around in his brain. Right now, you can tell he thinks it's worthless. You know?
Oh no, my friend, that circle, I believe, is worth, at least in utilitarian purposes, I think it is worth more than you know, because at the very least, it would give us. It appears to open to the same room with the same contents. So, whatever we find in this journey or on our journeys that is too heavy to carry on our person, we could store in that hole and only have to transport that lightweight. And then whenever we needed it, we could open it anywhere where we're not being watched and retrieve what we need.
And it's obviously a very valuable device. Like
Now, wait a
it's a
minute.
very generous gesture. Like that thing is a
Very generous.
valuable device. I mean,
Artur,
any-
can I ask a question?
Yes.
Are you willing to stand by that assessment of this object?
As to the
As to its
usefulness of
value? Yes, its inherent value. We have to convince this hard-headed Dwergar of its value.
I am willing to stand by this. Oh, well, that was the wrong thing to say if you said that. But
Excuse me?
You know, Toki's actually been kind of mulling over a problem in his head right now, which is how would one destroy a portable hole?
Throwing in a bag of holding. We all know that.
but from
He's kind of-
a reasonable distance away.
Yeah.
So
Let's explain it on a more practical level. Open it back up.
The problem for Toki though is he wants to destroy this abomination of nature.
I'm going to open it on the wall, and
now,
Fall
do
into
you
it.
know how to open it?
he showed me to touch the edge.
Yeah, I showed.
There's a short bump and a long bump on the
I
edge.
showed Somos how to open it and lock it.
Okay, so the short button opens it, and the long button locks it. If you don't lock it, you can move it, and it's unstable. very unstable.
Okay, so we will open and lock it.
Okay.
Arthur, climb into it.
I'm going to climb into it and look around on the inside. Show.
What are you doing?
Vama's going to close it and lock it.
Oh,
He's in there.
hopefully I have atmosphere.
You've got 100 cubic feet of oxygen in there.
I take a couple of steps and I grab my maul. I'm like, what did you do to him?
I'm going to toss the square, toss the chip to Somos. Catch!
Nope.
No? Okay.
It's closed. I mean,
But it's light. It's lightweight.
Where is my friend? Produce
inside.
him now. And I heft my maul on my shoulder like I'm ready to smash some heads.
All right, watch this. Hopefully we're counting seconds here, guys, because he doesn't have that much oxygen. Lift it back up. Show him that there's no weight to it, really. It weighs just a few ounces, like this. Open it back up on the wall.
I'm not really getting mad.
On the
Step
wall.
back out.
My dog's over here thinking that I'm really mad.
I see that. This
It's
is
okay.
intense.
Okay. So
The beer opens, and you see a wide-eyed Arthur in there.
I'm going to step back out as soon as it opens.
Ah.
he'll speak in his best French. Voila.
And now it hits home. It's a portable hole. It's
Yeah.
a fabled device of immense power.
It doesn't weigh anything more no matter what you put in it. That's
Yeah,
what he was
it's-
trying to prove in a very
Yeah.
dramatic way.
You can fill it up
got-
to the rim. And
Yeah, it has great storage capacity. 100 cubic feet. We could stack a lot of boxes in here.
Are you okay?
I am fine, but as you can see, we now have a portable mini warehouse where we could store anything and carry with us for very lightweight.
Dwarf's not impressed, but he's sort of impressed. What do you
No.
do? What do you do, Samus?
Damn, he's trying so hard.
He's still pissed.
I mean, let me put it.
Disappear, and for all I know, his
Samos, let me.
personality's changed or something's wrong with my friend now.
No, I am the same person, but Samos, let me put it this way: this device would allow you and I to cross the ocean in a rowboat and never starve, because we could put all the rations and the water and liquor that we needed in this device.
I like
and
the
merely
fact
take a boat large enough that we could put it down and open it safely.
and you
and not-
attest to this worth.
Oh, what worth is there into being able to transfer a 100 cubic feet worth of rations or liquor or gold in such a small package?
I will trust you, my friend.
Couple of those and a fast horse, and you wouldn't need a boat. You wouldn't need nothing. You'd be you'd be able to move so much cargo.
Yeah, a couple of those and a fast horse, and you could either hide forever or you could like put 90% of the merchant princes out of business.
Yeah, there you go.
So there's still a bit tenseness in the situation, and Toki is he's got his back up and just watching all this weird voodoo stuff, but he's in the spirit world, and you're not sure what Toki's all about. You see that he's some guy from another place. He's a fish out of water. You could tell he's got this jewelry and the old nose bone through the nose and a little bit. So who takes the portable hole out of you guys?
Vama's
He was-
giving it as a gift to the dwarf
yes.
Somos, if possible, But now that he has his own friend who he trusts much more than anyone else, understandably, but now you've got some word on it, it's yours, and you decide how much it's worth, but it's definitely worth more than a couple of nights in a room.
Now, an hour's gone by or
I
so.
will trust my friend.
Yes, Samos, carry it. He was offering it as a gift to you, so.
I gift
Carry
it to you.
that. Oh, well, then I will keep it safe.
And it's Somos.
It's almost. All right.
It's gonna be a hard nut to crack.
You guys get 1,500 XP each.
Oh,
Awesome.
Thank me later, Wergar.
Yeah, that's a very generous gift. That was his portable hole, guys. But
In Elfish, that just is we all dwarves that. It's
I'm
not big.
metagaming here, sorry a bit, but that was well played, you guys. A tense moment. I like it.
Yeah, the hard part is having played since 1985 when you were 6 years old and trying not to metagame, knowing exactly what that was.
Oh,
the
I
moment you
know.
showed up.
that's what I was trying to do. Like, I was trying to completely ignore the fact that I knew exactly what it was.
Well done. So, mask is back on, let's say more or less. Now, the tenseness has come down a little bit. You've accepted the gift, and you realize Vama probably has more to say. Toki's been settling down a little bit, keeping an intense eye on things.
He's
Yeah.
scared of that thing. He doesn't want to touch it.
Well, you don't have to touch it because it's going to go in my pack. Now, is this the rigid version or is this the cloth style version?
Rigid.
Rigid. Okay.
So
That
Vama has
determines how
given
it's-
you guys, our friends, a gift of a portable hole, which should cover, in Vama's words, it should cover the cost of the room. So we don't need to hear any more about that.
Oh,
However you
it'll cover
wanna
the
cut the
cost of the room, and
I hear the word Deragar, and I'm still fuming over that one.
well, that's true. He's going to be a little annoyed by the use of the word. Dugar.
Annoyed?
And so,
Oh, are the waters purple here?
They will be. Be careful. We're going to a weird place, man.
Well, I have not agreed to do such yet.
But Vema you'll find out that he might be a little shifty, but he means well, and he has to sometimes use extreme methods to display his intentions. But he definitely means well, and he's not misanthropic. He's also a very skilled translator and linguist. He knows exactly what Duergar means to a dwarf.
so he intentionally insulted you.
No, it wasn't an insult. He was trying to suggest that he's thinking about things the same way that a Duergar would.
I
Well,
can see
the
that.
dwarf might miss that nuance as he did. I think he's got his eye on you.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Fair enough.
So there's a discreet knock on the door.
That ought to be the rum.
That familiar knock. And Mola's there. And sure enough, she's like all flushed in the cheeks and sweating a bit and puffing stuff. She's, I found some. It's expensive.
How expensive was it, dear?
60 gold pieces.
Close the door behind you, please. Come in.
She kind of comes
She said
in and
60
she sees a
or
bit of a situation, and not quite though, but she's like, there, here, and she has this nice flask. It's actually quite nice. It's got the brand seal of some nice make of particular rum.
Damn it, 60 gold.
You know what? Toki sees the look on your face when you're worried about the money, and he gets the concept, but he has no idea what the value of anything is. And I believe that crown on my head is like 150 gold.
No, each
I'm
one of the
just gonna-
pearls on there is 150 gold.
All right.
Too late.
It was all I recall.
Before I let him give the crown to the girl, I will stop his hand and put it back. And be like, no, that's far too valuable for
Yeah, her eyes are agog.
the keg of gold or the keg of
It's
rum.
rum,
So
Now, Toki, he gestures to you to stop.
Yeah, I'm still learning, so I'm kind of I'm following. I'm taking
now, if all of us
the lead.
are going to drink to this, and in token of your generosity and our future business transactions, I will fish the 60 gold out and hand it to the girl.
Wait. Now I'm going to stop you the way you stopped my friend. Wait. Let me cover this. We're not going to be drinking this. It's not for us. We're going to need it.
Allow me to split it as a business partner.
Vama sense. 30 of it's already been paid for. I gave her a golden. Oh no, that was just the fetching price, so we still owe her 60.
Yeah.
And I gave her 30 though as a fetch it. So
right. So we won't worry about tipping her, and I will just give.
Yeah.
I'll give her 30 and
60. She's gonna need 60.
And she's
well,
still.
I'll split. I'll give half of it. So that's.
So she
I'll give her the other-
she looks you in the eyes and she looks at the crown with longing.
If
Toki,
we can scrounge up the other 30. She's good.
could you make a resistance roll?
Oh shit.
Anyone?
Who makes a resistance roll?
Toki.
Toki
What,
versus petrification polymorph.
She's giving you the withering gaze.
I rolled a 16.
That's probably a pass, actually.
I do reckon that you're being seduced by a civilized woman.
No, she really looked at that crown when you were gonna come toward her, and she's kind of makes moon faces at you. She's quite impressed with your physique and your appearance. You're a young, strapping guy who's like taking this crown off. But you stop, and she giggles. And is there anything else I can get you? Do you need drinks?
I'm motioning for her to come over to me.
She shyly scampers over. Yes, Sir Dwarf.
I am going to be needing about 3 more flagons.
Ah, the same? The high spirits?
The ale that I was drinking earlier.
Ah, the high spirits. The good stuff. Okay. It's
Thank you.
expensive. She nods.
I've been paying for it all night. I have no problem paying.
Ah. And she's... Anything else, anyone? And she's...
I'm going to toss her the other gold armband. This one is for you. Thank you, love.
Still paying for my drink.
Yeah, her eyes are kind of bobbing out of her head, and she's backpedaling. And thank you, sirs. Thank you, sirs. You need anything else? You just ask. I'm still on till midnight. And do you need?
And then she's going to retire.
Yeah.
We want to let her know. We want to let her know, though, that we don't want to be disturbed for 3 days.
3 days? Her eyes go wide. I have laundry to bring back. And this beds have to be changed?
She can
baths? 3 days?
3 days.
Are you sure? She seems incredulous.
What part of 3 days don't you understand, wench?
Of course. Yes. She moses down and backpedals toward the door. So anything else? You need treats or food? Tobacco?
I think that we are good for now.
Actually, I'll be taking another special.
Of course. And she scoots out.
Please.
Nice. Yeah, you're getting hungry again. And
Yeah.
I've upset your stomach a little there. A little bit of... She scoots out, the door closes discreetly, and you're back together again. And there's the keg now. She put on the table. It's a stout keg, probably about a gallon. Seems to have like finest rum from some coastal place, I'm assuming. Probably the Hold of the Sea Princes, some major house there. Vama, you would recognize it probably. It's like, yeah, it's the seal of one of the 4 houses, one of their brand. It's good brandy or rum.
Excellent. Yeah, we're going to need it. Let's not crack this case. We're going to need it where we're going. I can explain more after we know that we're not going to be disturbed. Huh? And this is all I know. After this is all I know. But we've got a lot to look forward to. Vama keeps on looking behind him towards like the window side of the wall. Really, I know very little more, but I will explain exactly where I'm coming from.
Very
Just
well.
waiting for us to
I'm
get this
still
cake.
eating my food, so
Yeah,
Please.
talk. We got time. I'll be right back, guys. Hold on.
No problem.
you can explain while I wait on my food.
All right. So Vama, without having to go through, each point of the conversation or whatever, Vama wants to explain. He wants to hit a few important points. He knows very little more about this room than you guys do, except for that he's been here before, and he left some unfinished business. There are several portals that go to other dimensions, and these are other places. They're teleportation portals, maybe. They're dimensional portals. I don't know exactly. Vama doesn't know exactly where they go. This will be over the conversation over the next 15 minutes. Doesn't know exactly where they go, but there are several of them contained within this room, and they require passwords in order to activate. Vama knows 2 out of 3 of the passwords to activate them.
Now, Vama, perhaps spend a few minutes actually filling them in on some real background. Like,
right.
Like who Nbod
But he needs to lead
was.
it up. Yeah, he needs to lead it up to this because he feels like if he's not absolutely clear, then at least one of our 2 companions is going to really, really distrust him. And if one of them does, then both of them are going to, because they're obviously a team. So he's trying to make every single step of the way clear that his intentions are correct. There's a reason why he gives information in steps. Right. So there's that. Nbod was my master. Just like you, I suspect, and just like you, I suspect I was a slave. I was born into it. My mother was a slave, an elf. I was born as a slave. I was purchased by Nbod when I was young. But he was a good man, and he was a good master. And I worked faithfully for him as his scribe and as his translator for 40 years of human.
You were the one that wrote those notes.
Yeah. He would come here occasionally on business of his own, and I was not allowed to join him. But the last time that he came here, we're from the coast, from the city of Talek on the coast of the hold of the Sea Princes. 2 months ago. And he decided to come on his own, and he never returned. So I came to look for him. Without my master, guess what that makes me there? A fucking renegade. Do you understand my meaning?
I do.
Aye.
Yeah. But he never returned. So I came here, and by coming here to follow him and find him, I am also now an outlaw. He's not here. He's missing. He's never returned. This was the last place that he was known to be, and that's a picture of him on that wall there.
I already knew that.
Yeah, well, every single person that knows him is now assuming that I'm the one who killed him.
I'm just gonna. I just flat stare at you for a second, and I'm like, "Is that true?"
Of course not. I've come to find him. He's my master. He's a good man, and I've worked faithfully for him since I was a child. He's old, but he's smart. No,
yeah,
I
I've
don't know where he is.
softened up to him a little bit since he said the whole slave bit, obviously. Because that's going to reach all different parts of my heart that have nothing to do with, me being Wari. So, I mean, you can obviously see the change in his expression, softens when you do say that. So, I realize I might not be quite the hard ass you're comparing me to. That I do have.
No, Vama knows that. He was Nbod's, he was a diplomat and a translator for Nbod he was a merchant, and he traveled to lots of far areas. Vama's used to being put right in the front, having to deal with somewhat hostile and aggressive people, and he's really good at it. and he was also a translator and a scribe. And Nbod's been missing for about 2 months now. This was the last place that he was known to have gone. But by following him, even up here, this is just up to this point, by following him up here, Vama is also automatically a renegade. If Nbod is dead, Vama will just be captured and resold to someone else, or be killed for potentially killing his own master and running away.
But Vama, you do notice the dwarf finally sits down.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's why he's getting this.
I haven't sat down, but my expression.
Oh, sorry, I thought yeah. Okay.
His expression sat down.
His expression sat down.
I'm still waiting on my food and drink. Then I'll sit down.
Right. And we're trying to get as much of this in before this lady comes back, or between, because our dear girl, she's sweet like meat, but ain't none of her business.
Yeah.
And so we'll get that far with it. On top of that, this was the last place that Nbod, sort of out of character, this is the last place that Nbod was known to have come. He disappeared. He never left here. This was over 2 months ago. Yeah. However, there are portals. There are several portals within this room. One of them, Vama will point to the chest. One of them is inside of there. The point to the wardrobe. Another is inside of there. There's another. I'm not sure. I suspect, though, gentlemen, that it's in that bathtub. I don't know where the third one is, but they require passwords and they go to other places. So, if we can find Nbod, perhaps I can have my own freedom. Truly, he was my master.
I'm gonna casually walk over to the bed and lift up the mattress a little bit. And just out of curiosity, I'm looking to see if the third one is somewhere that might have been overlooked.
Start glancing around, investigating. Yeah.
They're funny. I want to express one more thing. My friend here, Toki, make eye contact, Toki. He comes from one of these places. He does not belong here. He needs to go home. He followed me back. I want to bring him back where he belongs, to his home. He wants to be my servant. Come on, man. You know what it's like. I'm freshly free, and now I have a servant of my own. It doesn't work like that around here.
So, Toki, you're following this somewhat.
I am, but Toki still feels obligated. But he's actually slightly disheartened that, it sounds like his friend doesn't want him.
No, you know that we're good friends, but you have to smell your own air again. You have to know, as a free man, what it's like to smell your own air. Just like we all do. And every one of us, I think, is in the same frickin' boat right now.
So I guess Toki would then say, do you not want me to be with you?
Now, Toki, remember, you've been ostracized. Your people have shunned you.
They wanted to kill you, actually.
That's real to you. There's no going back to your society. You're dead to them.
That's why I'm saying, because if he doesn't want me with him, I have no place. I have no society. I have no...
And Toki, that dawns on you that perhaps your relationship's a bit more than just an arrangement for the full moon cycle. You've actually bonded in a friendship manner, but you also sense that he's wants to shed that manacle.
Right, and so to me, he's like an anchor on... He's my only outside connection to any other part of the world, because I have no home. I'm out here in this spirit land. Nothing here makes sense, and he's the only guy that I have to latch onto as far as, friendship goes, really. And I still feel obligated to him, but if he doesn't want me, then, we've got to figure something out, because Toki wouldn't be a burden.
And Vama is only recently free, but that free is totally a technicality because his master's gone missing.
Right.
And he knows that he'd be a renegade anywhere else, and so he's not really his alignment actually changed when he first tasted that freedom. He went from true neutral to neutral good. He became good once he realized the actual value of of freedom within a human life. It was
There's
true
a
neutral before that.
discreet knock at the door, and the food's here. Mola comes in this time, kind of doesn't wait. She comes in through the door, the tray, and it's got a bunch of food on it and more drinks, and she brings it to the table and puts it down, and she goes, "Wow, it's exciting, isn't it? So, anything? You guys hear anything or see anything?"
Is there something that you would like us to see?
They saw his ghost again 2 nights ago.
Where was it?
She knows something. She knows something.
You want to take it with us?
Well, I don't know how much of a use taking her with us would be, but what does she know? She seems to know more about this.
Well, these guys have a lot more information that you guys don't know about yet. So she giggles again and kind of goes, "I'll keep an eye out. I'll let you know if I see him."
Wait.
What?
Just a few moments. Close the door here and come in. Sit down with us.
And she's like, "I gotta get back to work."
Yes, of course.
He's already mad at me for disappearing.
You know, I'm sure there are many men mad at you for many things. Who saw the ghost?
A couple guests.
And what did they say?
They say they saw a figure with a beard and dressed like a pirate.
And where did they see it exactly?
It was going into the room, they say.
From the hallway?
It's all rumor. And then they say one was kissing girls in the corner, and another one was robbing people, but I think those are rumors. I have to go. And she breaks off and goes to the door and let me know if you need anything else.
That's a little fishy to me. Just her.
Yeah. So if a little more information could be passed on, the thing is that people keep on saying that there's a ghost of Nbod in this room, which is horseshit because we don't know that Nbod's actually dead.
You know what, Darren? Just out of character, real quick.
Yeah.
I don't know if we are assigning too much credit to your role-playing ability, but we're picking up on little nuances and becoming suspicious of little things on occasion. Are we analyzing too much, or are we?
Well, wait a minute. By asking that question, you're sort of analyzing too much, aren't you?
No, and there could be red herrings. This adventure actually is a bit of a murder mystery. So here's haunted adventure. So I'm glad I have that suspicion built. There's a lot of information they're missing out on. The only person here who really knows what's going on is Ian.
Well, it's Vama actually.
It's Vama. Now Vama's been through some of these portals. Now he's hinted at that.
I guess my question is, do you feel that we are giving you too much credit for role-playing ability is the question.
Ooh, answer that carefully.
We are picking up on little nuances that seem a little bit suspicious.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you feel that we're giving you too much credit and we're skewing things off in a direction where you didn't intend us to because we're just picking up on cues, or
no, not at all. I'm intentionally dropping clues. Okay. Some of them true, some of them false. Vama is your linchpin. He's the one who knows a lot of information.
I want to catch everybody up as quickly as I can. Here's the couple of things that I suspect, and this is out of character description, but it will be translated in character through Vama and them. One thing is that Vama was Nbod's basically a slave, right? He was well treated, and it was a good relationship in that sense. He was a hereditary slave, and he fulfilled his functions well. He was treated well, but when he first got to this inn, this is the first thing that makes an issue, is that mention was of Nbod's ghost. But at the time that he's following Nbod is still not determined to be dead. You don't make a ghost if you're not dead. and B, the time frame just didn't it doesn't clear, which means that there's something else going on here, and people say that it's Nbod's ghost, but Velma is not he's not convinced that it's actually a ghost at all, but especially Nbod's.
Now, and moving forward as well. Now, Velma, you should tell them like who you met and what you did.
Right, that's going to involve. Okay, well, we had a couple of other. There was another party that went down with us. We passed through one of these portals. We passed through one of these portals. We discovered it somewhat accidentally. It's inside of that chest, kind of pointing without like looking like I'm pointing, but that chest at the foot of the bed. Inside of that chest, if you open it up, is a portal that goes to another dimension. That's where Toki came from. It's not another dimension. It's somewhere else here, but it's much farther towards the equator. The stars are different there. I have a sextant, and I couldn't figure out where we were at using a sextant. But they are the same stars. I couldn't locate our direction. It's somewhere much, much farther south to the equator. And that's where Toki came from. But there were others, guys just like you. Not just like you.
Okay. And also tell them, okay, the story of Nbod too. His master, as far as you know, was in this other realm enjoying himself, and he got into some sort of conflict with some being.
Yeah. And
that being, he met somebody else in this realm. His name is, what's his name? Kalen?
He never really told us. If he mentioned it with Kalen. Kalen is name. That's who the rum is for.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I don't want to step ahead, but Velma, I'll let you talk now.
Yeah, and you know how Velma does. He's never quite clear. He doesn't throw everything on the table at once. But
it's time for some clarity. Tell him what happened.
So it's been a few months since we played the adventure, man.
Okay, and I can help you. I just reread the module twice, so I know I'm like
right. No, but we went down there, and there's a jungle down there. There are tribal headhunters down there who are extremely vicious, but there's a guy, a shaman or a witch doctor, who isn't from there. He's a renegade from somewhere else. He's light-skinned. He speaks. He's a musician of some sort, a bard.
Yeah.
And he said that he would give us a lot. He knows a lot more about.
Yeah, I'll help you out a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
This guy named Kalen was a friend of Nbod.
He's a friend of Nbod's.
They had sailed together in their day, and when they were young. Now, what happened was Velma, with this whole other party, there were 4 or 5 of us, went through this portal. We found this atoll. It's not a big jungle. It's actually a tip of a volcano ring, and they landed on the eastern edge of this atoll. And there was some jungles, yes, and they went through it. But they found this small hut where they found this gray-haired character pounding on this drum named Kalen.
Right. Well, there was a sacrifice going on.
There was a ceremony going on, yes. The local headhunters were sacrificing a bunch of youth who were going through these ceremonies to see if they could become men. The ceremony went bad. This huge creature came out of the water and devoured all of the participants, and all the headhunters ran away. And there was a battle.
With the exception of Toki.
With the exception of Toki, who was abandoned on the beach and left for dead. So they retreated back. There was some battles fought with the locals, and came and told them the tale of how Nbod and him had taken this rowboat and rowed across the atoll while this creature was dormant, and they went there to stash some treasure. Now, the treasure was a dagger. That's part of the treasure. There was more. There was gold. There was other items. But one of the showpieces was this special dagger that I described already that was on the painting that he held. It was a dagger shaped like waves, and the hilt and pommel was in the shape of a whale, and in its mouth was a large pearl.
There's also
now, the last you heard Nbod saw was, Kalen saw was Nbod struggling with this weird creature in the water, and he couldn't see much because it was stormy and windy, and he escaped with his life, sort of thing, and that was months ago. And Kalen went back to his hut, and as far as he knows, Nbod drowned out there or was overtaken. He hadn't seen him since, and so they talked with Kalen. They rescued Toki, who was this last surviving member of this ceremony, he was shunned by his people, forsaken. The elders came up after briefly and kicked him and cursed him and left. And so Toki's people, he's a native. He's one of these headhunters who became. Now, what happened was Vama went up to the Toki while he was in rough shape and offered him water. And Toki took this as a symbolic gesture of sort of friendship, bond, and they exchanged as a strange magical connection where Toki vowed to guard Vama for a full year. And that's what drew him out of that world. They escaped through the portal back into the hotel, and the rest is history. They've now come back after a full module, Eye of the Serpent. They've come back to this inn, and of course, intent on solving this mystery, hence the suspension, hence the suspicion, and Vama's play, well done and stuff, and well played, everybody. And at this point now, I'm kind of narrating this to get this moving. And Vama gives you guys this huge speech about this ordeal they went through and the fact that he wants to get closure. He wants to go back and find out what happened to his master.
You need to find out if he's dead or alive.
Yeah. And also check up on Kalen, bring him his... Kalen, last thing Kalen said when you guys left, ran off, he said, bring me back some rum. Hasn't had rum for years. Kalen's been here as this recluse for years. Him and Nbod had this worked out, this place where they used as a vacation, as far as you could tell.
But this guy Kalen, if I may interject, he wanted that rum, but he seems like he knows a lot more than he actually let off when we encountered him for the brief period that we did.
He does. And he did warn you about other creatures. They're across the lagoon or across the atoll. He called them the bitches, the two bitches. There's apparently a couple harpies that are roost in the cliffs on the other side of the atoll, and they're sort of guarding, or not guarding, but just living. Their lair is in that area. As far as you know, that's where Nbod's treasure is. That's where he could be, or his bones, or whatever's left of him. But there's some other being there, and the only hints you had about that was that it was a being that lived in the water, could screech like a banshee, as Kalen remembers that. But he never saw it. And so he just got out of there. He said he saw his own fate, and he just paddled the boat back out of there. He may feel a bit of a coward for doing that or whatever, but it was at that point each to his own. So,
and just to lighten that, we weren't there for that. Like, this is his story, but we had to fall back out of there much quicker. He is this guy on the beach that we're going to bring the rum to. He has some sort of rapport with the tribal people there, like where I think they fear him and respect him.
Yes,
they give him a little bit of birth, and so if we can get on his good side, and that's what this rum is for, is to give it to him.
He has some rather particular skill where he drums his drums, and he can charm the beast that lurks in the lagoon.
So we want him on our side, and he speaks.
These guys saw the beast. It's a huge tentacled kraken creature that lurks in the depths of the atoll.
So that's our mission right now, to go back. However, just to add to that, though, there are other portals in this room that seem to go to entirely different places. We don't know, and I've seen one of them open. It's in the wardrobe.
Yes.
And it goes to an entirely different place that I.
Yeah, no jungle, no ocean, and
it's like a dungeon.
This one went to a large chamber that had a large pool in it that reflected the water on the ceiling, rippling patterns. And you guys, why did you go in there again? You briefly went in.
It was shaking, and we opened it up.
Right. Yeah, you guys looked in, and you looked, and
like, fuck that. We
didn't get a good feeling, and then let it close. Now he tells you, as far as you know, these portals have passwords.
Right. I know 2 out of, if there are 3, I can't remember how I know that there's 3. I'm sorry, but I know 2 of the passwords, anyways, and they make sense once you know them. I can even say them quite clearly. I'll write them down. Actually, I don't want to say them out loud.
It set off the portal,
yeah.
And
he wants to know the words to open the. He wants to know how to get home.
Now, Toki, you don't have a home.
True, but he knows where his island is.
I mean, you miss the fresh air of the tropics and the fish and swimming in the sea, but
and that's what Vama's saying. Like, once you go down and smell that air again, then you're a free man. You can do whatever you want. We're good
see
friends.
What happens.
We've
but
been around.
You made a vow to, and plus you've been forsaken, but you have conflicting emotions at the moment. So let's go to Jeff and Eric. We've been kind of focusing here on a long narrative. I appreciate everyone's patience and whatnot. By the way, we're getting close to the 3-hour mark and whatnot, and I can play a bit more. But this one will probably require a continuation. I can see we're building up to the point where you're actually going to go to the section, and I appreciate that, everyone. You guys have been doing really good.
Just to say, I don't know how to activate the portals exactly. I think that the passwords work, but they also seem to work on a certain time. Like the first time they open on their own. As far as
there seems to be a randomness.
So
yeah.
And that means opening and closing, which means if we go down the wrong hole, the wrong portal, we may get stuck.
The wardrobe opened.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you see anybody on it? Okay, no, I guess not. Okay.
Well, I can do probably another 30 minutes, but I do have to get up for work in less than an hour.
Well, so. and things, I let things kind of move at their own pace there. You guys probably realized
there was also a lot of information that had to be passed.
A ton. And I'm looking long term. If we're going to be playing together and stuff, I'm not going to rush this. I let it play as it did. I appreciate that.
There's no reason for it to rush. I like it better that we got a chance to.
Yeah, and there were some tense moments, and there still are. I like it. There's got to be some of that.
I apologize for not remembering some of the finer details that I could relate.
Yeah, that's because I realized that he knows a lot. Like, we played a full 4-hour adventure in that realm. Like,
it's been a month. I understand.
Yeah, exactly. So to fill in a couple more details, you kind of have a clue of Nbod's fate. You ran into some nemesis for some reason. This dagger is important. Vama, you realize that this was one of Nbod's prized possessions. The fact that he had it portrayed in the painting. All right, you cats, they're scrapping right in front of me. Is important to Nbod, and it's important to you for that reason. And there's something else that was nagging me. Kayla knows a lot. There were some items in the portable hole that were important.
Yeah, some clothing. We had torches there too, as I recall.
The hat.
There's a hat.
Clothing,
his
torches,
coat
and the balls of wax.
The balls of wax, which were in a box. Which, okay, that's actually a thing. If you want to describe it, I'll take a 30-second bio. But there were like little, because we used them once, didn't we?
Your ears.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if you used them yet or not, but
we did. Vama called them out for.
You understood that Nbod had used them to plug his ears.
Yeah, they're little balls of soft wax.
Now, Kaylin warned you guys about the harpies and their song.
Yeah.
And so you guys,
they're in a box in the portable hole.
Yeah. And Nbod's hat is there with his feather.
So all this is suspect, and just Vama's personal. He was Nbod's personal servant. He was basically a slave, a bond slave for his entire life, and Nbod is a good man.
Hey Darren, there's a reference on my character sheet that I was unfamiliar with the reasoning behind it. There's a note there that I've got 3 feathers. What's that about? Is that relevant right now, or?
Let me think.
I'll be right back, by the way.
Go ahead.
1 feather was one that made me fly for a bit, but there's something about 3 feathers on the sheet.
Interesting. I'll have to look at my notes again for that. Okay, so back to you two guys. A lot of information has come in. You realize that, okay, he's kind of offering a chance for you guys to go into one of these portals and find some treasure, but he's also warned that there are some powerful creatures over there, very dangerous. In fact, this Kraken creature, for one, is, well, you're hoping that apparently he kind of thinks that Kaylin might be able to seduce it. when they were there last time, Kalen was hitting his drums the whole time. And when they showed up, he was using his drums to lure this creature up onto the beach. And the creature sat there swaying, and then it attacked these beings. And so Kalen can kind of soothe this creature, apparently. And he knows the area and the region and the people. And so you guys have to come up with a plan. And what we'll do is it's getting to the point where, yeah, it's probably a good point where we can, I hope you guys can keep playing this, of course, next week or whatever.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in the next session, but
yeah, because this one was very much role playing. We never drew a sword, right?
Right.
I don't mind that at all. By the way.
I almost did.
Yeah, I was close there. I thought it might come to blow, or I thought there might, harsh words.
I don't mind a session that's 3 or 4 hours long where there is no combat. There doesn't need to be combat.
No.
For it to be fun. So.
No, and there were, like I said, a lot of information to get on, and I'm willing to put in the time. And the next session, we'll probably conclude in Nbod's room. We'll probably solve the mystery, do what needs to be done. But for now, let's come up with a plan. I'll let you guys role play some more and kind of hash out what you guys want to do next, what you actually want to do. What's the next step? How do we do that? Are we ready? Do we have the equipment? Should we go right now? Should we try passwords, or should we wait? Should we stay the night? I don't know. You guys go ahead.
To make my plans, I need to ask you a question. Is there some sort of a ritual or procedure by which I can be readopted back into my tribe after failing the? I guess I was being sacrificed, not tested. I thought originally it was like a coming of age.
No, it was a coming of age
type.
And
well, I'll tell you what, from Vama's perspective, you're being sacrificed. There was a no chance, man. This thing was like the Kraken, and it came out and it ate 3 of your companions in one fell swoop.
It was actually a coming of age, in which
you guys got a hard life, man.
No, and Toki, it's harsh. You've been completely excommunicated. Like you're dead to your people.
Is there any other way for me to redeem myself then after that having?
I don't know, frankly. It's a long shot. You would be killed on sight at the moment. I mean, you would be considered a demon at this point or something, perhaps. I mean, you consider yourself dead.
Yeah, I'm been wandering the wastelands of the.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're dead. You're dead soul. You're in, and that's your fate. And perhaps you've actually got a bond with this mortal who treads this pseudo realm.
Well, see, in my travels during the afterlife, I've killed an evil priest. I wear his robe now as a sign of my accomplishment. I'm wondering if maybe there'd be something that I could present to my tribe that would show my worthiness in spite of my previous failure. Like, for example, we have the Eye of the Serpent, that 2,000 gold piece stone. That should be in our possession still.
It would take something probably like killing the Kraken, frankly.
I'm willing to go back and give it a shot.
Well, no, it would take something that epic. I mean, you would have to alter their. They don't believe in wealth, right? Your people are. They're in this. They believe in spirits and ancestry and shamanism, and it's more about power, right? And spiritualism.
If I could interject here, for what it's worth, from Vama to Toki, the whole point of going back down here, because you came with, we tried to leave you down there when the going was good, before you had ever passed through that portal, and this was when Toki was still an NPC being run by Darren. But Toki wouldn't have it. He wanted to come with us no matter what, and it felt terrible to bring you away from that place. However, truth be told, it looked like you were being sacrificed. He can say all he wants that it was a rite of manhood, but it looked like a bunch of bullshit sacrifice to me.
It was brutal.
The thing is that you came up with us and made yourself a bondservant. If we go back down there, this is Vama's thinking only, so I'm speaking in character in that sense. Thinking in character, you go back down there, you're going to see right away that you have as much home down there as we do, and you're welcome to be with. Vama would love to have you as his companion. We've been through hell together, literally, but you need to do it as a free man, free of any bond oath to remain with him. Like as a free man and as a warrior.
Make a charisma check, Vama, to see if you can get that sense to him. Like he can understand that, hey, I'm not abandoning you. This isn't about not liking you. This is about me wanting you to be free to make your own choice in this, right?
Right. So you come
Which
back
is a complex
here
thing. He's not stupid though. I mean,
charisma 12. Here we go.
Yeah, make a roll to see if that sinks in. Made it?
Yep.
So Toki, it dawns on you that he doesn't want to abandon you. He's your friend. But he feels that he shouldn't be your master, or he shouldn't own you. And now there's a miscommunication here because Toki would not see you as ownership. This is about honor. He doesn't own you.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, and Toki doesn't understand that Vama is basically a recently escaped slave himself.
And Vama, you kind of understand it's an honor issue as well, yet you misunderstand a little bit. Yeah, exactly. So Toki's world, it's about honor, it's about obligation. You owe your life to him for a year. And the fact that but you do understand now that he doesn't want to abandon you. He is your friend. And there's something wrong, but you're a bit puzzled. Yet you're
our other two companions here now are another thing, because both of them like almost reek of being in a condition in which they understand this level of trouble, either whether it's obligation or slavery, and the whole like kind of mix and how complicated it can be.
Okay, and so let's let Arthur and Somos. You've been watching this interaction. You've seen all this stuff. You're mowing down on your food, having another drink, smoking a pipe, and you're getting to know each other a bit. And things have lightened up a little bit. It was tense there for a bit. It was your weapons. You were gripping your weapon there for a while, and you were wondering if you had to cave in his head and try to get your friend out of this portable hole. I seriously thought, like, oh, this could come to blows after he pulled that. But I thought, I know Vama. He's coming.
I was surprised though.
Yeah, Toki is what? What are you doing? Okay, let's let them speak a minute. Jeff and Eric, do you want to ask them any more questions? I can fill in some stuff. I realize it's been a month. I just read the module, like I said, twice today, so I know everything at this point.
I think I've got enough information, and as I've been eating, my kind of stature is kind of relaxed a little bit. It has nothing to do with my opinion of anybody, but you guys can tell that after, the whole interaction between them and him trying to explain the concept of freedom and whatnot, that I have, there's not as much guardedness anymore.
Yeah.
But I will look to Arthur, and I would have walked closer to him. This is going to be more of a private conversation here. Are you believing all this?
I do not think that they are lying, and portals are certainly within the realm of this world. At the very least, I am willing to assist them in this, so that at the very least they may find the peace and the freedom inside that you and I know.
Aye.
For Toki's part in this, he, as far as being a servant and owing allegiance to him for a year or whatever, as far as his oath, to him,
bodyguard.
Yes, bodyguard.
No servant.
To him, that's a perspective that either way, although the words are different, either way, he feels that he wants to protect his friend, because he owes him this oath, or because they are simply friends. He doesn't really feel the obligation to be free in the sense that he could go his own way. He could go his own way. He doesn't want to go anywhere else.
Well, and your honor says I have 11 months left.
Right, and to be honest, he not only has that time period left, but he also thinks that does he not really want to go anywhere else? He doesn't really have anywhere else to go.
And if Vama dies, you'll spend eternity in hell. In this.
And the way Vama's looking at even his new companions is well, he considers them companions already. You see how fresh he is? Is that it is no accident that you guys pulled up that room within hours of us coming all the way back, traveling for 12 days to get right back in here and get there. And then just a few hours before we get it, you guys are there. This isn't an accident. So automatically you guys are complicit in whatever we're going to be doing. And it really doesn't, he doesn't have any moral compunctions about that at all. He's very, very quick. He knows how to make friends fast, and he knows that loyalties are going to be on the table right in the front. So, it's like you guys are here. There's if he has to bullshit, he has a thing. He doesn't pay for rooms. You might have noticed that he doesn't really pay for anything if he doesn't have to. But but you're here, and you are just as relevant to be here as we are. In the moment.
A discreet knock at the door.
Is it? Yeah. You have every right to be here.
Were we expecting anything else?
Shouldn't be.
It seems similar to Mala's knock. It was a little light rat-a-tat.
She has friends in low places. Toki, get the door.
Toki opens the door.
Hallway's empty. What?
Who was it?
Nobody there.
Could you make a wisdom check, Toki?
Yes, I can.
And that's also, it's going to be a 4 penalty. So add 4 to your die roll.
12.
And your wisdom?
1
So
second.
that's a 16. You have to get, your wisdom has to be 16 or better.
No, I with the modifier, I rolled an 8. An 8. So the modifier was 12. Wisdom is...
Oh, I see.
Wisdom is 8. So you failed it by 4.
Okay, you're turning around and you're attacked. What is your AC?
I think it was 3. 1 second.
Toki, you are backstabbed.
I had my back where my friends are.
Yeah, but you were you didn't see anything, and you're looking around, shrugging, and something suddenly pierces your side.
What the fuck?
Now, just so you know, you are 2nd level, and you do have 16 hit points, but you have more, I think, because you have to.
That's my first level total.
Yeah, so because you're going to need this, you may need these hit points. You should roll that die. What did barbarians get for? And you get your Constitution bonus, which is doubled for barbarian or not. You took 21 hit points damage.
What the fuck?
Okay, as soon as I see that, him Winston that kind of pain, the maul is up and I'm going towards that door.
Okay, I just
Zama will
rolled.
go up as quick as
Daggers down.
possible.
He was just going to close the door. He was just turning around. He was just shrugging, kind of go. He looked both ways and then he shrugged and he was going to close the door. And all of a sudden you see blood erupt in his side. It opens up and he staggers down. Oh! And he gives out this cry.
I rolled an 8 for the hit point total.
Plus
It
your
is
con bonus.
entirely dependent on how many hit points I gained from con.
Now, barbarians may get the special extra bonus on there. Or is that for...
I think I get con, but I'm not sure. I have to look it up and unearth their canon real quick.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that stat modification. They get more than a normal.
Vama, could you make a wisdom roll?
Fucking A, yeah. And hopefully he's able to be drawing a short sword while he's standing up.
Make one as well, both at penalties of 4.
All
Both
right.
the penalties are 4.
Carter and Vama. Now,
Fail.
the dwarf has grabbed his maul and he's moving to the door. Right?
Yes. No hesitation.
Roger?
I failed.
Like 15.
Arter, your penalty...
No. No. I saw nothing.
I saw you seeing nothing, and I double you.
Hey, you guys
No.
failed to notice
I don't think you could double me because 24.
a faint green glow coming through the cracks of the wardrobe. And the wardrobe shimmered slightly. And you guys just saw this last second as the doors open and we have to roll surprise now. So
Hey,
with that,
Darren?
Yeah.
What was my hit point total before you changed it to 24?
16.
18.
And you rolled an 8, so I put it 24. Now you get your con bonus.
Oh, then I get 4 more points.
Wow, so you have
So I
28.
Yes. My new total is 28.
And you took 21 hit points damage.
Gee,
All right, I got 7 hit points
you
left.
got as much as I do
And
when I'm
you have
open.
to make a resistance roll versus poison. And I shouldn't have said that, but you have to make a saving throw.
All right,
As
I
I
rolled
see
a thing.
As I
You wanna-
see hurting like that, instead of moving to attack whatever's behind him, cure light wounds.
Well, hold on. We'll roll a surprise first to see who goes first, or if you're surprised. Things may change.
Surprise roll?
Yeah. To begin with, Brian, you failed
I rolled-
your save.
I rolled a 2. Yeah, that would be a fail, I believe.
No, that's a
Is low numbers good for?
No, that's a fail. You want to roll high.
Yeah.
Saving throw.
Yeah, I rolled a 2, so I'm not
right.
doing very good right now. The 7 hit points isn't going to carry me very far.
Yeah, you feel yourself going numb. I'm going to roll 4-sided. You're going to be paralyzed.
Oh, I was about to see if I could grapple with whatever it was that stabbed me.
Okay, well, no, you're still good. In pain, though. You got stabbed, and you can feel like, your right side right away starting to kind of get a little unreactive. You're going to be -2 until you pass out in 4 rounds.
All right, can I grab the whoever it was that stabbed me?
Let's roll.
Because I'm only I've only brought with me is my spear at the moment.
You guys might have surprised them. Somebody roll 6-sided.
Who wants to
This
take
for-
care of our surprise roll?
Yeah, surprise rolls. I rolled a 1.
I rolled
so
a
you
6.
guys, wow. So you guys surprised them completely. In fact, you have 5 segments of time.
Wow.
So
Good,
you look over and you see the wardrobe shimmer and it bursts open and a figure's there, with this kind of green backdrop. But you got it. You turned and you could see the shimmer and stuff, and you got the full 5 segments. And there's a figure in the door. However, you can't make him out. He seems to be just a shimmering. He's really hard to see. He's got some sort of magical effect on him. or it, or whatever it is that stabbed Toki, he's advancing into the room and bearing down to finish off Toki, it appears. But you guys go first.
If I keep initiative, because I'm carrying only the shaft of my spear in one hand, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the person who attacked me basically by the throat, cross the room into the opposite wall. Like I'll smash them into that desk or whatever's over there.
That's a grapple, so you can make a strength roll against his strength.
Do I need to roll a d20?
All right. Now, I'm going to give him this magical effect makes him hard to grab whatever. Like you go to grab and it's all blur. Like you see the shape, it's humanoid, it's swathed in these dark robes, and you might even see make out this sort of rat face in there.
Okay, I rolled.
You're -4 to your roll because of that blur. But his strength is. So what'd you roll -4?
That would give me an 11. I have a 15 right here that I rolled.
Okay. And what's your strength?
18, 63 or something.
Oh wow. Okay, hold on. Okay, so that gives you. Yeah, hold on. That bumps you back up to. Okay.
1891, not 63.
No, you missed him. You didn't grab him.
What?
But he dodged. He rolls into the room, or tries to. Now the dwarf was ready for that. Right? You had your maul, but you were going to cast light wounds, you said.
I said as soon as I saw him hurting that bad, I was keeping the maul in hand, but I'm going to slap him for cure light. Okay,
you see that Toki runs around. His sides open with blood. He reached out to grab something, this blurry humanoid, and this blurry humanoid kind of spun out of his grasp and moved into the room. And just then you realize the wardrobe's opening as well.
Well, now, my more immediate concern is Toki.
He's hurt. He's bleeding. He's still up and kicking, and he still tried to grab him. But
do I need to roll for my cure light?
Yeah, because we should state what we're going to do before we actually roll initiative. We're supposed to roll.
Well, we still have surprise rounds to be able to deal with our stuff, though, right?
Yeah, this is all surprise. So you can cast your cure light wounds. This is a freebie, actually, guys. You guys get 5 segments of free action before we roll initiative.
Okay. Well, what is it for cure light? It's just D8.
2 die 4.
2 die 4.
One die 8.
Oh, it is 1 die 8.
It is 1 die 8.
I'll double check to confirm.
Well, if it is, then Toki just got 5 back.
1 die 8, and casting time is 5 segments, though. Heads up.
Yeah, that's just enough for the surprise round.
Yeah,
just enough. You guys had 5 segment surprise. Now you see how I did that. You guys rolled a 6. They rolled a 1. There's 5 in between. You guys have 5 segment surprise. So you can cast that light and still, if you guys win initiative, act first. So you get 5 hit points back, Toki, and the wound feels better. Yeah. Well, you took 21 hits damage. That was a triple damage backstab.
That was like shit, man. That's hard.
I didn't roll that high on the damage. I rolled a 7 with this bonus.
Whatever gods are watching, you thank them.
So you had 7 hit points left. So now you have, whatever. Who's next? You cast heal. Toki, you missed with your grab on the surprise. Who's left?
I'm grabbing my bastard sword and making ready.
And you do see the wardrobe's going to burst open.
Yeah, I'm ready. Turn in to face whatever's going to come out of the wardrobe.
Roger.
Whatever stabbed him. Can I see what stabbed him?
It's this blurry figure. It's covered in some magical blur. It's shimmering.
Is it running around the room itself, and so it's not the cause of what's opening the wardrobe?
No, it's not. As far as you know. There's something else. Okay, time's ticking here.
I'm going to cast a light spell on the blurry figure. 1 segment casting time. I want to cast it directly on it. So when that thing's moving around, at least we can see where it is.
I'll make him make a saving throw.
Right.
Okay, to see if it exposes him and you can see his silhouette.
Right. It's not helpful to see a shadow.
Right. Let me have a look here. His saving throw, that's versus spells. 14. So he has to roll a 13 or over.
If it doesn't work, it'll still be in the room somewhere, won't it?
Okay, now you've negated the blur effect, which was giving him that +4 bonus, and now you can see this. It's William, and he doesn't have that benign expression on his face now. In fact, he's got a look of
rat-faced, and I was like, "Wait a minute." Yeah,
and he's got a bloody short sword in his left hand, and a dagger in his or in his right hand, and a dagger in his left, and he's looking at you with this benevolent glare, like and the light. And he's like,
"Hey, Darren, I just want to forgive the momentary metagame, but the light spell should blind him, would it not?
If he doesn't make it,
that's the effect of the light spell on a person."
Well,
I can give you the lowdown if you want me to read the stat, but
he's
modifiers.
He's a smart cookie. He's very well. Not that. No, that's a good call. No, obvious. Yeah.
You see, it behaves. It says it behaves exactly the same way as the first level cleric spell in that fashion. And so let me switch pages here right quick.
I hate they make you look up 2 spells.
Well, you got to love it. Guy gags.
So Vama, light spell, bang. Anyone left besides that?
Unless
ready, right? Bastard sword out. Cure tried to grab him. Okay, now we roll for initiative while he does that. So another 6-sided die. I rolled a 6.
Who's rolling?
I'm rolling. I rolled a 5.
So they have 1 initiative.
I'll be quite honest with you. It doesn't specifically say anything in the player's handbook about light automatically.
No, against orcs and goblins and such.
Things that are affected by light, but
I would definitely.
But it's still it's clinging to him though. So no matter where he goes, he's going to be a.
It negated. Like he had a wicked blur effect going, and that is now moot. Just hold on, give me a quick sec. 1 second. I just have to look.
Yeah, this thing's opening up. There might be others that are going to come through this gateway. This is where one of the portals is that wardrobe.
Yeah, and you were explaining that it might be on a time schedule of some kind.
Yeah. Maybe we're learning more now, but at least you believe me.
Indeed. Where were we? I rolled. Okay, they won initiative. Any spells? First of all.
Well, hold on.
Again, I should have asked you guys what you're doing before we rolled.
Well, the thing is that we had 5. So we've all we've all used our surprise segment, right?
Well, yeah, more or less. Yeah.
Okay.
A spell takes up the whole thing. I remember reading that somewhere. No matter how many segments available. Your bastard sword, but you are ready. So the doors burst open, and you see this character.
Rat-faced William.
No. Well, he's there. The other guy, but the guy in the wardrobe is dressed in these black robes with scarlet trim with arcane symbols and stuff on them and whatnot. And he's got this horrific half skull mask on, which leaves his jaws open. It seems to be a human. And like I said, he's wearing some weird demonic skull on his head. And he's got a large, intricate hammer in his right hand. And you're like, what the hell? And he's ready though for combat, and he casts he looks right at you, Arthur, and his eyes slowly turn redder and redder and more pinpoint, and he looks deep in your soul, and he reaches out and it casts a spell toward you. Now you have to make a resistance roll versus spells for me.
Okay. That's a D20. 14. I don't think that's good enough.
Okay, you have it, and this you haven't had this feeling ever in your life of intense panic and fear. This person is Satan, like
Yeah, Mystic
coming to
Dictation.
eat your soul, and you just have to get as far away from this person as you can.
Okay. Fleeing.
Yeah.
This is where a spell list would come in handy for me, but I've already decided my action.
Now the being that you exposed with the light, now you can tell that it's Ratface, it's William, but now he's a different William. He's crouched down in his professional sort of death stance, and he lunges forward to try to finish what he started with Toki.
He's lunging
I'm
towards me.
standing
Can I plant my spear and have him land on it?
You lost initiative. So if you had said you set your spear for a charge, I don't know if there was room for that in this room though. Your AC, I think that's a miss. Now with his bonuses, that would be an 11. Your AC is what?
4.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, he misses with that poison blade. And his buddy casts a spell. Now it's your guys' move. Unfortunately, you see Arthur. Suddenly he just shriek, ah! And he backpedals from the wardrobe. And
As long as he doesn't leave the room.
well, his back's going to be against the wall next round. So who's next? Any spells or missiles?
I cast a sleep spell on William. I don't know if I'm wasting the spell.
On Arthur?
No,
William Ratface.
On the rat face guy. I'm going to cast a sleep spell on him.
Okay, he's fourth level. Will that affect him?
It affects up to 4+4 hit die.
So it will.
No saving. Oh, he gets a saving throw.
He
No,
does,
there is
right?
no saving throw. There is no saving throw.
Even at fourth level, even?
At 4th level, no, it affects 1 to 2 creatures of 4th level. Is he 4+?
Well, he's an actual NPC at fourth level. He's a fourth level assassin.
It affects up to 4th. Yes, an assassin. It affects up to 4. Anything above 4 hit die, then it affects 0 to 1 of them. But if he's only 4th level, it affects 1 to 2 of them, which he's 1.
So he goes down then. Sleep
Little
spell.
one, sleep. Take comfort in the night's embrace.
He stumbles down. Now, if he was still blurred, I would have given him a saving throw, I think.
Blur would give him a bonus to his save if he got a save.
Oh.
There's no saving
Okay,
throw
well,
for
he's an
sleep.
NPC, but okay, I'll play this. He collapses.
Technically, hit die is 1 die 8. Assassins have 1 die 6 hit points.
Go ahead. Who's next? Toki, or whoever wants to go next. You see that there's a character burst through the wardrobe and flashed his fingers in this malevolent fashion, and before you know it, Arthur had turned or had backpedaled. Just his face is white as a sheet, absolutely petrified.
I'm going to stab whatever just came through the. I'm going to put that new magic spirit mine into whatever just came through the portal.
Okay, go ahead.
Not that I'm aware that it's magical, of course.
No, and he seems surprised. He seems surprised there were so many people in here. He expected 2 people in here, I think.
See, somebody's feeding them information.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And now you understand the value of sneaking into a room, man.
I rolled a 19, so I don't know what the Magic Plus's bonuses are. But
no, that's a hit. So go ahead and give me damage. That's a hit, even on the AC type he has, which isn't great. What does he have? He has no. He doesn't appear to have armor on, but it doesn't sink in like hot butter. But you got him. Roll your damage.
If I go two-handed on this hit, it's a D8, correct?
Yeah.
Vema wants to scream while he can. Don't let that portal close.
1 second.
So go. Anyway, Brian, how much damage?
13 points.
Ow. Nice. Ow. So you pierce him and he feels it. He's and he.
Sorry, my mistake. 15. I forgot that I'm specialized. I've got 2 more points from specialization.
Gotcha.
Don't get specialization.
Who's left?
Barbarians.
I haven't gone yet.
Yeah, go ahead then. Samos.
Yeah. Seeing my friend in trouble like that, and I already had my hand on my maul, I'm going to do a charge. But at the end of it, I want to hop on the bed, so it's kind of aerial. And I'm going to knock this guy's head in.
Nice game of cricket.
Okay, give me a dexterity check, and if you pass, I'll give you a charge bonus.
I'm seeing Matthew McConaughey jumping off of that tower to kill the dragon with that axe.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Nbod,
Rate of fire, man.
I love that movie. I rolled a 2.
Oh, okay. So you see this dwarf go into action. He takes like a gymnast stance, goes forward 3 paces, springboard off the bed, launches himself right into the foe. I'm going to give you a +2 bonus on your attack.
Okay.
And easily you get that charge bonus. He just has 1 second to look up, and that's the priest.
This is a cleric. Yes.
Okay.
I rolled a 9.
+2, and plus whatever bonuses you have.
11. No, that would only take it to an 11.
That might not hit. That's a miss.
Oh, no.
Good looking wolf, though.
That's a miss. Damn it. With the +2, right? You said. Okay. Well, he seemed to be backpedaling already. Anyone left?
Oh,
I'm terrified and I can't do anything because
I know. Yeah.
Are you
The old
completely
fear
panicked
spell,
and
man. The fear spell.
Okay. Well,
Initiative.
the
Next
additions where you don't get to save every round when you get affected by a spell.
Negative. Oh, and I rolled a 1. So you guys probably will have initiative.
who's rolling initiative, anyways? I'll do it if nobody else does.
I don't care.
Okay, I got it. 4.
Your guys' go, and I forgot again to ask what you guys are going to do. So, go ahead. You see Ratface is down slumbering for the moment, and the cleric guy, you're not sure what he's going to do, but he's hurt. He's been stabbed by Toki, I think it was. Got him good. And the dwarf came flying in and just whiffed, and this guy backpedaled back into the wardrobe, and you can see the back wall is absent.
So if you want to go on...
He's backpedaling, like he's retreating.
Vema's got a 17 dexterity, if that means anything, but he wants to yell again and reaffirm, don't let that portal close, while he's running towards the guy, the William, rat-faced William, who's down. Right. And he's going to, with his short sword in his hand, he's going to pummel the fuck out of his face. Not blade, but pummel.
Subdue.
Boom, boom, and just hit him
first
down.
First of all, that'll wake him up, but you'll get the damage. So
I want to kick his weapon away out of his hand too, if that's possible.
Yeah, he dropped it. He's asleep.
He's going to kick it way into the corner and punch this guy as hard as he can in the head.
So roll your damage.
I'll
give you a sword
okay.
damage.
Yeah, I want to knock him out. Like, not just sleepy, but knocky.
Right.
5.
Okay, he's gonna try to wake up. I'm gonna make a saving throw here. 15. So he might make that.
This is probably the nicest thing that Vama has ever done, is not slit his throat.
No, he does not make it. So he's still unconscious. You're pummeling him, taking damage, and you're knocking him unconscious. Okay, next. Go ahead, Toki. You were fighting this guy as well as Somos.
Here. Stabbing one more time with the spear. I rolled an 18.
Oh. Oh my.
And not as good of a hit. 11 points this time.
Oh, he gives a shriek. And he's in mortal danger. You can tell. He's almost goner.
Maybe
he's
the spear once again.
being immortal.
Go ahead.
That.
Go ahead.
We'll find out.
Croquet.
Yeah. I'm going to go again, and I'm just going over my head to smash his.
Double fisted.
I should have tried to backstab when I did the punch.
Go ahead, roll your die. He is backpedaling. He's trying to retreat.
Well, I got an 18.
Oh my.
Which
The
is
opposite of a miss.
Yeah. Unless
No,
it's
that's
almost better than 0.
Oh no, you describe how you come in on this guy.
Like, literally, since I landed right in front of him, I'm seeing Toki's spear kind of pushing him up against the wardrobe almost. And I'm just going to play whack-a-mole and try and keep him away from, possibly getting back in there. So literally just overhead, just smash hard.
And there's a sickening crunch.
Do I need to roll damage?
Well, he had 3 hit points left.
Well, I get +2. So base weapon damage would be 1. So that's 3 hit points right there.
Yeah, so he goes down. You crunch him. Ah!
Really?
And you crash. His skull helmet cracks open, and you see this bald, middle-aged guy with pale skin and a rictus grin fixed on his face as he dies, looking at you with these red-tinged eyes of hate. And he curses you in the name of his god. And this is a sea god.
What?
It's a bad one.
You're the god?
Whoa.
What's his name?
Blip blada bloop.
Ooh.
Her name.
Ooh. Quotua.
And you can see now he has some sort of lobster motif going. It stands out.
Hey, wait, this place is called the Blue Lobster.
Mm-hmm. And he curses you. Blip blada bloop knows who you are as he dies.
I've slain many of his followers.
She's a real piece of work. And well done. He's dead. You see Vama pummeling this assassin.
Does
he's
my
struggling a little
backstab work
bit.
on this guy?
At the moment, you're just pummeling him.
I mean, but the backstab is still double damage, isn't it?
Yeah. So I mean,
Including pummeling?
he's subdued. He goes still.
We want this guy to be out like a fucking light.
And you look up, and the door's open, and you see Mola standing there with her eyes wide open, just mouth open.
Oh, she's next. She is so next.
What's going on? She mutters in this small voice. William!
Close the door behind her. Who let her in?
Nobody. The door never closed.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
still, she has no business being here. We said 3 days, and she agreed.
She's curious. And
Did
she
the
comes.
spell
She's
on me break when that guy died?
she's a bit in shock a little bit. There's some blood around. There's bodies, a couple bodies. There's people. There's a vicious, violent struggle there.
Gray matter and bone on the wall. Just regular shit.
Exactly. And she's just. Do you guys need anything else? She starts to backpedal slowly into the hallway. She turns and runs off.
We should have grabbed her because, like you said, 3 days. It hasn't been 3 hours.
Yeah, and it was very convenient that the moment that she opens the door, something else happened. But let's deal with that later. We've got this guy down here. Let's truss him up. Close the door and get this guy trussed up. Let's find out
And
everything about him.
I'm gonna hit Toki with another cure spell just so he's a little bit more, feeling a little bit better.
Now, Arthur.
Yep.
As soon as that person, that thing, that horrible demonic, whatever it was that was piercing your soul, died, this weight came off your heart, and you just slouched down like you were pinned against the wall in utter terror. You couldn't move. And you see your buddy smash his face in with the maul, and looks at you. Hey,
Getting better there, bro.
I am now. Whatever that man was, he cast some wicked sorcery upon me.
Fear spell. Nasty magic. And like I said, I was casting the Cure Light.
the door closes.
The one to the wardrobe?
Yep.
Dama thinks to himself, maybe out loud, he doesn't know. It's exactly what happened last time.
Well, Toki, you got hit for another 7 hit points, so add that on.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
Yeah, Toki, this smacks
Just
a little bit of
doing my
magic,
job.
but you recognize a priest, and so you're okay with it. Well done, you guys. That was actually a bit of a pincer movement.
Darren, I just screwed up. What was my hit point total after you added it on last time? Was it 28?
28.
Yeah.
Accidentally put it in the wrong box, so 7 more gets me up to 19.
Everybody gets 670 XP each.
Wow.
So close, and yet so far away.
Oh no, it's so far away.
Now the dust settles. You're not sure about Mola, what her deal is. She's
just a
scampered
little
off.
too conveniently inquisitive.
Perhaps.
She has friends too, and I know that she's got them in low places. I don't trust her
The
farther
door
than I can throw
closed.
it.
You got this unconscious assassin, William.
We gotta
And
trust this guy up as quickly as we can because he's gonna break free. You know what I mean? Like, we can't trust him.
4th level assassin.
Well, who comes in through weird places and has blur spells on him?
Well, do we want to interrogate him, or do we care?
We care.
Now the body of this middle-aged bald guy with a paunch, with kind of muscular arms though, he seemed he can hold his own. He was a cleric of some power, and he's got like some sort of, I don't know, what do you guys want to do with his body? Have you searched him at all or anything?
I'm gonna search this guy.
Wait, can we get our door locked? I mean, can we bolt that thing?
Oh, it locks. Oh yeah.
All right, let's get it bolted.
We move the bed in front of it.
Like, no more of these weird intrusions.
So who's going to talk me out of not dropping the, or talk me out of dropping the assassin in the portable hole and then closing it?
Nice. That's a.
I mean, we're already going to throw the other body in there until we have time to dispose of it.
There's gonna be enough cleanup to be.
The priest has a hammer, very nice hammer actually.
Now, I'm gonna break that. Just out of pure hatred for his goddess.
Bust it in half.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, seriously, she's got to be one of my deity's like chief rivals.
Yeah, Blip Bladaloop is. He's wearing some rather intricate forearm bracers.
Do I have like a detect magic?
That would work on all these items. And the bracers radiate magic. The hammer radiates magic.
Well, the hammer is no more.
He has a wand that radiates magic.
I'll look
he has
over
an unholy symbol that's not magical.
Yeah, that's going to be broken too.
Do I understand what's going on here? Because this may cause some issues.
Well, Toki,
Toki, help me with this guy.
Am I leaving it in the hands of the priest who's clearly taking care of priest issues?
Wait, I think that Toki is helping Vama here. Like, we're totally involved with restraining this guy in the corner, right?
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing?
And then
Let's do it.
If he's not, I will be helping you tie that dude up.
Let's kick everything away from him. Stripping to nothing but his skivvies.
Any magic users can make an intelligence check to see if they can decipher what the bracers or wand is.
I got it.
I'm a magic user, and I can try to if you want me to go over there, but otherwise.
Okay, roll for the bracers.
All right.
Let me
Once you strip him, I vote that we tie his ankles and his wrists, and then hang him from the ceiling rafters by his ankles.
His testicles.
Ankles.
Make sure he's gagged.
Yeah, and he's gagged.
Yeah, and he's out for a while. You guys have a bit of time to investigate some loot and stuff.
Yeah, let me roll on the bracers first. I got a 6.
They're bracers of defense. They're dwarven. Braces of defense, armor class 6.
Can I claim those as a kill trophy? Because
You can't wear armor with those.
Yeah, so I can benefit from that.
all right,
Well, you can or can't?
No,
I mean,
negative. You wear armor and stuff, and bracers of defense basically
Yeah,
you can't wear armor with them. They're very handy though, because this is gives you plus 40 armor class. These bracers.
these are
Armor.
they're an awesome item for a caster, but
Roll for the wand.
Alrighty. I got a 7.
So wand of metal and mineral detection.
Hey.
You're not sure.
come in handy looking for a dagger later.
Wand of metal and mineral detection. And he's got a prayer book, an unholy symbol.
We find the pearl on that dagger we're looking for later, right?
As I said, I'm smashing the holy symbol,
Unholy symbol.
unholy symbol as it is. And he's got a prayer book.
Yeah, to blip, blah, bloop. And it's
Yeah.
vulgar and talks about nasty stuff.
No, I'm burning that.
Yeah, I was
yeah.
going to say that goes in the fireplace.
Yep. So I'm giving you guys a bit more experience points for this stuff. And the magic items, you get experience points to share as well. So
Okay.
that's another.
those bracers, if nobody else wants them, I am a magic user thief. I don't even wear armor as it is.
Yeah, those would be best for you because my armor class is lower than that to begin with.
Yeah, I'm currently unarmored. I'm not going to make a claim on them. However,
No, dude.
I'm going to vote them for the magic user.
As far as concerned, the dwarf is all but handing them to you.
And I vote you take them too, so.
I'm just looking for experience points here a minute.
there's that dagger that the assassin had. Might be poisoned. We kicked it into the corner somewhere.
That is also radiated magic.
Oh.
Let me roll for that.
That you
I
can't
am on
even.
a hot streak.
Yeah, go ahead.
I rolled a 2 for that dagger.
I was going to say this one's very difficult. I was going to give you a harsh penalty. But it's a dagger of venom.
Mm.
Also poison. Is that that's well, that's something.
So that's
something.
300. Dagger venom is 350. So that's 750. Braces of defense. Looking for the bracers. Bracers.
What was the armor class on those bracers of defense? 6?
6.
Cool. If I wear those, I've got a dex 17. I've got armor class 3.
It's 500 asterisks, so it's probably going to be about 800. So that's about 1550. And that wand of metal and mineral detection, that's a doozy.
I'll
15.
lay claim to that just on,
1500? Nice. So you guys share another 3,400 XP. So divided by 4, 3,400, so about 850 each extra.
Sweet.
Ding, 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 ding.
Not bad for a few hours in a tavern.
for 8520.
No, and some nice items. That's a
And
plus
I
one.
am-
Oh, you destroyed the hammer, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
His
Okay.
spell book is going to be out the door, out into the fire as well, right?
yeah.
Prayer book. Yeah.
It already is.
Prayer book, his book of rituals and
I'll be right back, guys. Short bio.
word. Well, there you go. Told you
Anybody,
those portals.
anybody upset that I broke that hammer?
Hell no, man.
Not really.
Good.
Break another
What
one.
I like to hear.
Hell no. Is anybody upset that I left the assassin alive?
Nope.
I figured you wanted something to play with, and we got to find out what the hell his trip is. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We can figure out, maybe we'll put two and two together as to how he knew we were in this room, but he's working with that guy.
Most likely. Well, whatever that guy was.
Yeah, but this was obviously something. It was a bit of a setup, wasn't it?
I would be thinking that, yeah. It's just it's too fortuitous of timing.
With all due respect, I have a respect for how does one say in Dwarvish? What is the word? Human life. What is the word for this?
Human life?
Yes, there is a certain amount of respect for it, but you know what? He has forfeited that respect by stabbing our friend.
I wholeheartedly agree.
So let's find out everything we could know about him when he wakes, huh? And after that, maybe
We
we
asked
can find out how much air is in the portable hole.
we asked nicely his name, and that's where nicety ends.
Yes. Good. Yeah, I'll strip him down to nothing, motherfucker.
Yeah, because I think actually our alignments are the exact same.
Neutral good?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, we speak the same language.
Yeah, exactly. Former slaves, neutral good.
Yeah, we're mistrusting of just about everybody unless push comes to shove. I'm wondering if this guy's a weird rat. Did that cross your mind at all?
Little
It did.
bit. A little bit. I mean, but when I wrote down the character's name to remember it, I literally wrote Rat-Faced William. So, like I said, as soon as I heard him say rat-faced, I was like, I know who this is. Metagaming, of course, but I mean, still.
It's a natural thought. Every time you see somebody rat-faced, you think he's either a were-rat or, well, a were-rat. Yeah.
Or just a really Weasley guy.
Or a weird weasel.
Assassin.
Right? We don't think assassin first thing. We don't think assassin until he decides to assassinate our friends with a dagger of venom. That's highly suspect behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been in the class, and most likely would have been dead.
If anyone else had answered the door, could you take 21 hit points damage, Vama?
No.
I have 7 hit points.
That's why when I knew Toki answered the door, I thought, oh, okay.
I could have handled the hit, and I could have taken the poison.
You could have taken the poison for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think I have to roll a 1 to fail.
But it's lucky though, because Vama would have said, "Oh, I'll get the door." It's Mola. Oh, where is she?
Velma has enough sensibility to say, Toki, get the door.
Oh, at that moment, I thought, okay, because he's a good assassin. I was like, well, he's
Jesus Christ.
And he was invisible at that point. He had more than the blur.
I thought he was invisible when it happened, so.
Yeah, he was invisible.
Yeah, well.
You would have had
to,
to, or I would have seen him.
I could have taken that hit now that I'm 4th level, but
I could have taken, like I said, I could have taken the hit. I could have taken the poison. No worries.
It would have been better that nobody takes that hit at all, because guess what? Guess what's going to happen now? Rat-Faced William is going to take it in kind.
Okay, I'm going to stop the broadcast now anyway, guys. It's a good spot.